La donna è mobile, qual piuma al vento, muta d'accento e di pensiero. Sempre un amabile, leggiadro viso, in pianto in riso e menzognero. La donna è mobile, qual piuma al vento, muta d'accento e di pensiero. E di pensiero. E di pensiero.
And welcome to the Whatever Dating Talk podcast, coming to you live from Isla Vista, Santa Barbara County, California, every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific. I'm your host, Brian Atlas. I'm joined by my co-host, Kiki. She's a bit shy. A few quick announcements before the show begins. This channel is viewer supported, so please consider sending a super chat throughout the show. I will read super chats $10 and up. All super chats will be displayed in stream overlay. We've got channel memberships, Patreon, merch. All links for that are in the description. And yeah, Eric, if you hit that join button, so we've got 6 different tiers at tier 1. By the way, YouTube does have a promo. It's 50% off. So at tier 1, normally it's $5. It's $2.50. Tier 2, if you go ahead and click on tier 2, normally it's, normally tier 2 is $10, but right now it's $5. So check that out, guys. We're also streaming to Twitch right now. Twitch.tv/whatever. Drop us a follow/prime sub for your way to support the show. And we'll give you guys, we'll try to pull this up again throughout the show, and we'll give you guys a shout out if you follow and or drop us a prime sub. Also, please support my nonprofit organization, the American Network Against Labiaplasty, or anal for short. We empower women who may feel self-conscious or insecure about their labia. Can we get some hashtag all labia matter in the chat? If you want to be on the show or help with the show, DM at whatever if you want to pull up our Instagram real quick. Yeah, just, we're looking for a talent coordinator. If you're a guy, you want to be on the show. If you're a girl, you want to be on the show. Maybe you know somebody who would be good to be on the show. DM at whatever on Instagram. So it's the first week of classes at UCSB. A lot of freshmen are about to get minor in possession of alcohol citations. So I am announcing my Isla Vista Benevolent Reimbursement Fund. As you guys know, I'm a philanthropist. So if you live in Santa Barbara, Goleta, Isla Vista, and you received any petty alcohol or party-related fines, like an open container of alcohol, under 21 possession of alcohol, maybe you were throwing a party and got a noise citation, DM at whatever on Instagram a photo of your citation and story, and you may be selected to have your fine paid for in full by me. Philanthropist, guys. Okay, so we're gonna have the guests introduce themselves. So please tell us your name, age, occupation, and/or school major.
Hi, my name is Erika. I'm 18. I work at Chipotle, and I'm not going to school right now.
Hi, my name is Alexandria. I'm 19. I'm a ballet dancer, and I do currently go to school for nutritional sciences.
Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm 28, and I am currently a lawyer.
Yeah. I'm Alex. I'm even older.
Into the microphone.
Oh, I'm Alex. I'm even older. I'm 29, and I'm also a lawyer.
Okay.
I'm Yesenia. I'm 18. I work at Chipotle, and I'm studying zoology.
Luke.
My name's Luke. I'm 19. I work as a beach lifeguard in the summer and a runner at this restaurant called Lokita.
I feel like your voice just dropped 2 octaves from when we were talking before.
I can talk up higher if you need.
No.
We can go back to the original. Let's run it back.
No, hey, I like you got the radio voice. But it caught me off guard because when we were talking over there, it's good. It's a great voice, guys.
Thank you.
One in the chat for Luke's epic voice. Okay, so you work at Chipotle.
Yeah.
Don't tell me which one, but can you hook it up?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I'll see you next time.
Don't tell my manager, though.
And so I won't. You have my word. And you're ballerina.
Yeah.
Can we say, is it for the SB ballet company?
It is.
Okay. Well, if you're a ballerina in Santa Barbara, I mean, I believe
Yeah,
that's
there's
the
not a
only
lot.
ballet
Yeah, it
company.
is.
And how long have you been doing that?
With this company, not even a year. I just started, but I have been dancing for 18 years.
Okay. So do you tour around a lot?
I am what they call a pre-professional, so it's kind of like an internship for ballet. I don't tour yet. I'm definitely hoping to tour. I do want to one day get to Europe and tour around with different companies. It's what I aspire to get to, but no, right now I'm just interning for ballet.
Okay. So your plie is pretty good.
My play is amazing.
What about your pirouette? Is
My
that
pirouette?
Yeah, is that pretty good?
If 6 at a time is good, then yeah.
Okay, good times. Good times. I want, actually, while we're on the topic, so I've heard some stories about ballerinas.
Mm-hmm.
Is it true y'all crazy?
Yeah, I mean, we're dancing on what is essentially plaster and cardboard strapped to our feet for 3 to 4 hours a day. If you can endure that kind of pain, I think you got to be crazy.
Because in the totem pole of craziness,
Okay.
you have like horse girls up here. And then right below it, I think it's ballerina.
I thought hairstylist was right below.
You know
horse
what?
Girl.
It's a toss-up between ballerina and hairstylist.
I think I'm definitely below a hairstylist.
You're below
I'm
hairstylist.
Yeah.
You do have a good point about hairstylists. That's
I
a
knew
fair
I
point.
did. Yeah.
And then I don't know where attorneys fall on that scale, but maybe you guys have some better insight than I do.
Are we crazy?
Into the mic, guys.
Are we crazy? Is that your question?
Sure. I know attorneys drink heavily.
Yes.
Yes,
Just
definitely,
kidding, but
definitely.
No. Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'd like to say we're insightful.
Okay.
If that's crazy, I mean, I guess
I would say
people-
we're pretty crazy. Sorry.
Yeah. Maybe a little crazy.
I have a couple male friends who are attorneys, and they drink very heavily, party like crazy. So, anyways, I don't know. Whatever.
No comment.
Whatever. Are you guys able to say what kind of law you guys practice? Are you guys okay with saying that, or?
Yeah. I'm a business law attorney.
I practice employment law.
Okay, rock and roll. I think there's going to be some litigation after this. No, I'm kidding. You guys are going to sue me. No. So super cool. So we're going to go around again. By the way, guys, all the girls' Instagrams are in the descriptions. Show them some love. Give them a follow. So around the panel once again, relationship status, longest relationship, and are you on a dating app?
I'm single. My longest relationship was like a year and a half, and no, I'm not on any dating apps right now.
Have you ever been on a dating app?
I have. Just to like see what it was about though.
Which ones?
Bumble.
Plural. Huh?
Bumble.
Bumble?
Mm.
No Tinder?
Mm-mm.
Seeking arrangements?
Nope.
Christian mingle?
No.
Farmers only?
Nope.
Okay, go ahead.
My longest relationship was only 4 months, very short. And I am and have been on 3 dating apps, Tinder, Hinge, and Bumble, none of which have been successful.
And current relationship status?
Single.
Single, okay.
I'm in a relationship. My longest relationship in my 28 years was 5 years. So, doing pretty well. And I've been on all the dating apps, I would say, except for the ones that are not for me, I guess, like farmers and Christian singles or whatever.
Seeking arrangements?
No, I haven't. But,
And Were you on, have you been on Seeking Arrangements?
No.
Okay.
Single. Longest relationship was 6 years. And yes, I'm on Hinge currently.
Okay.
I'm single. My longest relationship is a month.
Go ahead. I won't do it.
And no, I'm not on any dating apps.
Okay.
My longest relationship was probably about 6-7 months, and I'm not on any dating apps.
And current relationship status?
Single.
Single, okay. We've got quite a few single people at the table. All the single ladies and the 2 single, okay. So, in today's day and age, I feel like being single, what does that really mean anymore, you know? So I guess my question is, how long have you been single? And are you currently kind of talking to somebody?
I would say I've been single for like 5 months, and I am not interested in like talking to anyone or meeting anyone new right now.
So you're monk mode?
Yeah.
Like
I'm in hibernation, I guess.
Celibate. You're celibate?
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been celibate? 2 weeks?
Yes.
No.
Oh, your friend is snitching on you.
No, it's been like a month.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Maybe I should ask like the last time you've hooked up with someone, but I don't know. How long have you been single?
Since my last relationship, which was in high school, so 2 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, currently am or hoping to be in a relationship, but I took a lot of time to focus on my career, which I feel like is a pretty smart move for what I do. It's hard to get into, and I couldn't really afford the distractions. But now I am looking to be in a relationship, or at least to make some type of connection with somebody.
And also, just curious about the ballet thing. So, and I don't know if you're comfortable sharing, but I assume you get paid for it, right?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
But you don't have to pay the ballet company, right? Or do you pay them?
I do.
Oh, you pay them.
Yes.
So you're taking like classes, sort of.
It's a pre-professional track. All dancers have to do it to get to a professional place.
And at which point they would start paying you.
That's correct.
What does the employment attorney think about this arrangement?
I can't give any legal advice. I'm sorry.
For entertainment purposes, there must be some loophole, right? Right?
But I mean, we can give you my card after the show, and then you can call me, girl. Yeah.
Because to me, it just seems in the same vein as like unpaid internships, to be paying what would otherwise be your employer to work. Anyways.
I mean, it can get complicated. I'm sure there's some sort of loophole depending on, like, if you sign something, we would have to look at it. So it would just, yeah, it depends.
The thing to understand about these types of, it's called a traineeship, is if you're accepted into these programs, which are very hard to get into, then you're training with the best of the best. You have the best teachers who have danced with the best companies, created their own companies from the ground up. You really are getting the absolute best training you can get. And if you want to be professional, then you have to go through it. You have to pay your dues.
I can see that. It's kind of like going to school, you know? So,
exactly.
Yeah,
I
can see that. You're getting training.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. Huh. Okay. State Street Ballet. Please don't cancel me. Okay. I've just embroiled them in litigation. Okay, no, I'm kidding. So, how long have you been single?
Almost a year. Yeah. But I recently started dating probably like a few months ago on Hinge, which has been like an experience in and of itself, I would say, when you're like in your late 20s dating. So, yeah.
Okay. We'll get into some of the dating app stuff later on in the show. How long have you been single?
I've been single for about 5 months now. Yeah.
Luke?
I've been single for probably like 3 weeks now.
Oh,
yeah.
He doesn't stay on the market long, ladies. His DMs are open. Okay. Wait.
It's the jawline.
It is the jawline. It is the jawline.
It's totally the jawline.
Green short girl taken. Wait, but you're single, right?
No, definitely single.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what that comment's about. Okay, so, I don't know if I want to. Okay. Oh yeah, really quick. We'll just go around. You don't have to answer. Political orientation, and would you say you identify as a feminist?
I wouldn't say I'm a big feminist, but I definitely do support it. And I don't identify with any political.
Sure. Go ahead.
I'm the same. I don't identify with any political standing, but
Sure.
I would say I'm a feminist.
Okay.
I'm liberal, and I'm definitely a feminist.
Ditto.
I'm just like Erika. I'm a feminist, but like I wouldn't really like, go out and post about it.
Luke?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I don't really have a orientation with it, but I think it's important.
What's important?
Feminism.
Feminism.
Sorry,
Okay.
that wasn't clear before.
Okay. Well, as the, I believe as the sole egalitarian on the panel, well, we won't get too political, but it should be interesting. Okay, so first question for the show. Before I get into some of my questions, and we have a few videos also to react to, is there anything dating related that you want to get off your chest? Maybe you recently had a bad date, men are pissing you off in some way, there's a trend in dating that annoys you, something you hate about dating apps, whatever it may be. I want to open it up to the panel first. So go ahead.
I would say the idea of like shooting your shot nowadays, because personally I would expect someone to like go to my window and have a guitar and like sing to me, you know? But nowadays it's like you slide into if he wanted to, he would, okay? But what was I saying? Oh yeah, like nowadays shooting your shot is going to DMs, and that's not really like, I don't find anything romantic about that.
Okay, so you want what?
I want men to like,
She wants to be serenaded.
What's that movie with the boombox? Do you guys know?
isn't it a
yeah.
musical?
No.
No.
Doesn't he show up to her
No.
window?
He's
He
like,
does, but not with a
16
scenario.
candles.
16 candles.
yeah,
We were just
okay.
talking about that.
But so you want, what do you want?
I want men to like be more romantic.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you want, can you give us an example of how that might manifest itself?
What do you mean?
Well, do you want a guy to give you flowers? You want a guy to, I mean, are you talking like movie moment, romantic gesture?
Yeah, I'm
like
talking like love letters. And
love letters?
yeah, like guitar and singing to me. Yeah.
The Notebook.
Have you ever done that for a guy?
No. Wait, I've written letters. Yeah.
You've written letters, but this is for guys that you're already dating, I assume, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would you, maybe you could be the change you want to see in the world. Like, are you gonna,
No.
do you know how to play guitar? Maybe the,
No. I want them
The
to
recorder?
pursue me.
would that be romantic if a guy showed up with a
No.
recorder?
Not at all.
Okay. So you're not going to boombox a guy's window?
No, they could do that for me though.
Okay. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's your main gripe is there's no more chivalry. Is that, if
Yeah.
I understand it, there's no chivalry. Guys aren't romantic. It's
Mhm.
just on the dating apps, in the DMs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Have you ever slid into a guy's DM?
I don't think I have. Maybe like a celebrity.
Which one? Which ones, plural?
What's their name? The triplets?
Oh, the Sternielos.
Jonas?
No, not
They're
the
like
Jonas
on
Brothers.
TikTok.
Yeah.
There's triplets?
Yeah.
Which one do you pick?
All of them.
Well, one
You
of
oh, you
them's gay.
okay, you DM'd all three. I guess your odds
no,
are better.
I DM'd their group Instagram
What did you say?
if they wanted to go to Horror Nights with me and my friends.
They wanted to go where?
To Horror Nights.
Do they live in Santa Barbara?
They live in LA.
Okay.
I was just shooting my shot.
Okay. Good times. Good times. Your turn. And if you need me to repeat any questions, let me know.
So I have been single for the past 2 years. I have been dating. And the one thing that I absolutely hate is this, what we call situationships. Like, dating's not a thing anymore. You're just in a situationship. You can like each other for months, but you're not dating. You have no connection to each other. You're just friends. There's no label because that would freak people out. I absolutely hate that. I'm very passionate about that.
Okay. And so if you had to explain a situationship to somebody or explain a situationship that you've been in before, what is a situationship? Is it you guys are dating, you guys are hooking up, having sex, but there's no one is committing?
I'd say from past experience, a situationship is where you both recognize silently, because you can't say it out loud, both recognize that there's a connection, that you're interested in each other, you're seeing each other like a relationship status would every day, talking every day, check up on each other. You're basically in a relationship, but you have no label, and the minute you bring up a label, it falls apart. That's what I would call a situationship.
And is it you that's bringing up the label or wanting to have a label, and then it falls apart?
Yeah, the clarification.
So you bring it up and then the guy gets scared, or?
I think it's been 50-50.
Okay, so you've had a few times where the guy has
Definitely.
said, hey, I want something more, and you're like, no, no, no.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're tired of situationships.
I'm tired of it, yes, because I feel like with the it being so common, it's become easier for all of us to just fall into.
Well, I guess my question is, your quarrel was that you don't like situationships, but yet you just said that there are times when the men said, I want commitment, I want to move things forward, and you said no. So can you explain that?
Those situations have been, I've known that we're just not meant to, it wouldn't be a very long relationship.
Okay.
Like I was interested in them in the beginning. I got to know them, and it just decided that we weren't meant to be, and so I didn't want to continue with it.
Okay. So the guys that you want don't want you, and the guys that want you don't want them.
That is the situation, yes.
Got it. Okay. Good times. Modern dating 2022.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If I could actually chime in on that really quick.
Of course.
I agree 100%. These
Thank you.
situationships these situationships are not ideal. I think people are like, society and mainly social media has put such a, like, it's glorified this hookup culture, which has been said a lot, which is honestly really gross. I think people don't have enough like faithfulness and trust in each other. And it's just easier to be single or just be friends with benefits, even though you could have a connection with that person. So I agree 100% on that one.
Exactly. It's like the minute you move forward, things get too serious,
Yeah.
but you've already gotten to that point.
No, exactly.
I think it depends. So I think it depends. Like, I think, yes, hookup culture is kind of crazy, but I also think that people kind of go into dating in general wanting to like have a boyfriend, which I guess it just depends on what you're looking for. So if you're looking for a boyfriend, then I think like communicating that early on kind of avoids having these situationships. Instead of being like, this is fun, we're hanging out, what are we doing? Just say like, I'm looking for a boyfriend. Are you interested, you know? Whereas like, if you're looking to just meet people and connect and vibe, then you can say that and you can meet a whole bunch of people. And it like, it's not necessarily, you don't necessarily have to like hook up with every single one of them, but you can also just like meet people and be like, oh, they were dope, but they're like kind of whack romantically. So then you just like next, and then you just avoid situationships if like you create your own situation, in my opinion.
No, I think that's actually a really good point, because, you know, I have tried that where I've communicated very early that I was looking for a relationship, or I was not looking for any type of strict hookup or friends with benefits situation. And maybe 1 out of 4 times it's gone through and progressed and just didn't work out. But I definitely think it helps if you communicate that straightforward.
Word. Oh, go ahead, Luke.
Sorry about that. I know I keep on like jumping
No,
around.
come in.
No, I also, that's another good point. And it's people have such a hard time saying what they want, I think, because they feel like they're going to lose what they have or like lose that moment. But it's so important, so crucial to be open with that person you're talking to, so that you can actually like set up a foundation before anything serious gets started.
Wait, Luke, how old are you, by the way?
I'm 19.
Wise beyond his years. By the way, if you could just scoot that microphone just a bit that
This
way.
way?
Yeah, and tilt it up slightly. Up a bit more, a bit more. A little less. You got it. Keep going.
Can I do it?
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so moving on. Do you have I don't know if you remember the initial question, but
Is it like, well, I mean, I'm not dating, so would this be from before?
yeah, like
when I
past
was dating?
experience. Past experience. I'm sure you have some memories.
Yeah, I mean, it's been so long. No, I think that something I don't like, and this is way less deep than what was being discussed before, but I don't like when guys send me pictures of their dick unless I've like asked for it, but I've never have, so I just don't want to get it unsolicited, and I think it's disrespectful. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, really quick, we can open it up to the panel. Like, have you guys ever
I'm sure
received
every, I mean, well, I don't know, because
Dick
they're
pic?
like really young, so.
Okay, so every girl's, yes, she's received. Luke, have you received? Luke, any dick pic? Have you received a dick pic?
I have not, thankfully.
Have you sent one?
I have not.
Oh, that's
think-
that's good.
I,
Respectful.
yeah, I think that's really fucking weird.
Yeah, I've never sent a dick pic, so I think women should start sending pussy pics though. I would invite it. Send the pussy pics. All labia matter. Okay. So
P power.
the what?
P power.
Oh, right, because that word. Okay. So go ahead.
Love bombing. I actually do not want to be serenaded at all by anyone. Yeah, no, that's weird. I feel like if someone kind of love bombs you in the beginning with like a whole bunch of flowers and a whole bunch of presents, it's kind of a red flag. It's like you don't even really like know me. This is fairly new. I feel like buying dinner's chill, but I feel like when people, that's like boyfriend behavior when you're figuring out what you want to do, which is not want a boyfriend.
Okay, so no love bombing. Go ahead.
I'm kind of on the fence of like all of that because I have had guys give me flowers and like posters for like my sports games, but like I wouldn't want to be with them even though I enjoyed it. And then I'm talking to this guy right now and he just bought me a shirt of like his favorite baseball team just so I could support them with him, but I don't even like his team. And we barely started talking like a week ago.
Oh yeah.
So
Wait, he bought.
Red flag.
Yeah, definitely.
He gave you a gift of his favorite baseball team, you said?
Yeah.
Is it his size? Because he might have just bought that shit for himself.
No,
And he's like, oh, I got an extra one. And he gave it to you.
No, because he lives in a different state for college, and we're on FaceTime. It was actually last night that he bought me it. We're on FaceTime.
Wait, is this a guy you're dating? Wait.
No, we like just started talking last week.
It's a situationship.
Yeah.
Okay. Have y'all hooked up?
No, he's in a different state.
What state?
Louisiana.
Why? Hold on. Have you ever met him in person?
I've met him once because he dated one of my teammates like 3 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is okay.
Yeah. Well,
Why-
he's from here.
But
so-
why even entertain someone that lives so far away? I can see if you've been in a long-term relationship and somebody moves away, but like why? I don't get the long distance thing.
I wasn't even trying to get into that. I was just trying to look for a friend, and then it kind of happened. Like he's like me, but a guy version, and that's what I like.
What is you?
Well, we're both into sports.
Okay.
Same movies taste, music taste. Like we're both sarcastic, Mexican.
So hold on, you're having trouble finding sarcastic, sports-loving Mexican men in California?
Yes, and all the guys here in Santa
Oh, yeah.
Barbara are literally the worst. Especially,
Santa Barbara guys are the worst.
Yeah,
Why
they
is
are.
that?
Well, all they want are
What do they want?
to hook up. That's it.
But this guy who lives in Louisiana, he doesn't want that.
I mean, I don't think so because he's like the most respectful guy I've ever met. And yeah.
You can be honest. You're just trying to finesse him for sports jerseys you don't even want, right?
No,
I'm kidding.
I would never do that.
Okay, so is your current boyfriend long distance?
No.
Oh, okay.
I live with him.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because when I kind of made the comment about long distance, I thought I got a glare from the other side of the table, but what? Okay. All right. Luke.
Yeah.
So anything dating related you want to get off your chest? Anything that kind of bugs you? Bad date?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think the situationships are really stupid. I don't like it. If you have the intention to get into a relationship, I I would pursue that. And then also with the love bombing, I find myself a very affectionate person who also demands to be, like, my partner to be very affectionate.
Yeah.
So it kind of has to go both ways. I get the whole, like, the guy should be asking her out and all this stuff. That's fine. But I think there should be some, mutual, like, comeback to that response with it.
Okay. Wait, so you don't like the situationships?
No, I don't. And again, I'm single now, and I just got out of a relationship. And ironically enough, it started as a situationship. It was kind of just like a summer fling, and we weren't good for each other, and we both kind of just agreed, like, hey, we need to cut this off. But it went from, like, a weird situationship into dating, and then it was kind of fuzzy, but fuzzy is in a term as, like, not like we weren't loyal to each other, but I don't know, it was a weird, it was, I'll always have love for the person. That's just, it's not gonna go away. But you just gotta live with it, I guess.
By the way, I think chat is in love with you, Luke. There's been
Thank
a
you,
lot
chat.
of comments about.
Thank you, chat.
So, I mean, my question is, Luke,
Yeah.
come on. You don't like situationships, Luke? Because you're, okay, here's the thing, and I think Chad agrees. You're a very handsome dude. So you have your pick. You have your pick of the ladies. So why settle?
I think there's comfort in settling. There's,
Is there growth in comfort?
Yeah, there is. I think there's growth in comfort. There's, of course, more growth in pain, but you have to have, to be comfortable, you have to have some understanding of pain. So you grow from that, if that makes any sense.
Okay. All right. Wise beyond his years. So I guess I'll give mine. One of my big gripes is flakiness. And you know what? We've had so many flakes for this show. Like, I invite some people on and they flake, they'll either ghost, like give no notice, or give like an hour's notice. But just like when it comes to dating, like being super flaky is kind of a big pet peeve of mine. Also, not being punctual. Like if someone's late, for me, that's like big deal. So, yeah. Anyways, so I want to ask. By the way, you won't offend me. So, who do you think is more flaky, men or women? And we're gonna start over here. Actually, wait. We'll let Luke go last. So you go ahead.
Men, 100%.
Men are flakier.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty flaky.
Hey, appreciate your honesty.
I'm pretty flaky, and I'm always late. Like, I had a date on Sunday, and the guy like had to wait in the car for 15 minutes because I had like just gotten out of the shower.
No, I appreciate your honesty though. So,
but I think it goes. I think it goes both ways. I think both can be flaky.
Sure. Wait. So you had a date this past weekend?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Like, you're on the dating app. Like, you're single. How many dates per week would you say you're going on?
Well, I'm a lawyer, so I'm not like just swinging them, like going on dates every night. I mean, I've been on a handful of dates for sure.
Okay.
And then I've messaged people, which was also whack, which we can get into later. But
oh, you've messaged people?
No, they've when you can message on Hinge or whatever. So I've you have conversation with people and then feel it out, and then gone on some dates with those people.
Why is it? What do you mean? You said it's whack when you message. What do you mean by that?
Well, the conversation. So I think it depends.
The conversation in person is whack?
Yeah, like sometimes people are way better on Hinge or texting, and it's like did your best friend write that, or was that you? I don't know.
Sure.
So I think that sometimes it's like the energy's there when you're like texting, or when you're like long distance or something, but then you get in person and it's like it's not it.
Yeah.
That's definitely happened.
Definitely.
So.
Wait,
and you flake.
So you were 15 minutes, was it 20 minutes? 35?
In my defense, we were supposed to meet at 5, and he
Okay.
got there at 4:45.
Oh, so you got there at 5.
Well, he was picking me up, and so I was
Oh.
ready at like. Well, I wasn't ready at 5. I was
Wait.
ready at like 5:30, probably.
Wait, okay, so
It's a confusing situation.
the plan was 5. He got there at 4:45. You were not ready until 5:30.
It was like 5:50. I mean, so I was just gone back from San Diego from the Bad Bunny concert. So I was like recovering from the weekend. And then I
like how YouTube, by the way, gasped when she said Bad Bunny.
legend.
Oh yeah.
So I ended up driving back, like down to meet up with this guy. And then I had like limited time. I couldn't help the LA traffic. So that time it wasn't my fault.
Okay, got it. Okay. He picked you up though?
Mm-hmm.
But you have a car, right?
It just.
Okay,
it's
so you
a
don't
situation.
have a car right now.
No, I do. No, I don't have a car. I walked here
Oh,
actually
you were-
from downtown Santa Barbara. Yeah.
Oh, nice. That was a good little
Yeah.
workout then.
Just like 20 miles.
Yeah, a good 3-hour walk, probably more. Who knows? So so you just don't have a car, or were you?
No, I do have a
tanked?
car.
You were
No,
tanked. You were
the
drunk.
plans were up in the air, so we didn't know like what we wanted to do. Like, were we going to dinner? Were we going to hook up? Were we going to do both? Who knows? You know. And so
Who knows?
I know.
Oh, you knew.
We all know.
What did you know?
Nothing. I don't.
You don't know. You know that you don't. Okay, got it.
Anyway, so the day ended up. That was actually a cool date. I would say probably one of the cooler ones.
You guys got food, or what did you guys do?
Yeah, we got food.
Okay.
Talked. Mellow. Yeah.
Rock and roll. Who paid?
We actually split it.
Hey, good for you.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah.
Actually split it.
We actually split it. But I feel like that goes back to like the way I am looking at dating is like if I've gone on a few dates with someone where it's like romantic, then I feel like, yeah, then they should pay for sure.
The guy should pay.
But I didn't even know if I like this guy. It's like,
Wait, so, sorry, just to clarify. So you're saying after you've gone on a few dates, then the guy should pay.
Well, it depends. I feel like it depends on the person. It depends on what you're doing. I feel like if you have like a whole day planned, I don't mind paying for some things.
Wait, and are you talking first date, or are you talking? Let's say you've been seeing a guy for 2 months.
Let me just say, if
Yeah.
if I'm going into it and I'm like, I solely want to hook up with this guy, like I don't care about his personality, I don't care about what he has to say, all I want to do is hook up with this guy, and I know that, like going into it, then like I can buy my own shit, you know, it's fine. I don't need you to pay because I don't want to feel like it's like, oh my God, we have to hang out, like no. But if it's like
it's more. There's like a more romantic.
Yeah, if
undertone.
I'm like, ooh, we're going on a date, I don't necessarily know if we're gonna hook up. I'm like very intrigued, you know, I'm interested. This could be you don't look like a creep, whatever. Then it's like, okay, I'm down. It's more like date, you know, more of like a formal date, I would say. And so then they pay.
The guy pays.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what about? So that's the first date. What about moving on from there? Can he?
I haven't gotten that far. I've gone on. I think.
No,
I've,
not with this guy specifically,
Oh, yeah.
but just like in general. You said when it's not just like a more casual thing, when it's looking to potentially be a bit more serious, a bit more formal, maybe a bit more traditional. You want the guy not only to pay for the first date, but also a continuity there, so the guy keeps paying. Is that correct?
Well, I haven't gotten that far with anyone yet, but I think
But you've
that
had relationships, right?
in relationships, I think it was definitely more like he would pay for a lot of in my last relationship, most of the time he paid when we went like out.
Like for dinner or
Like for
something,
dinner,
or drinks.
he definitely paid.
And just remind me, that relationship ended when?
A year ago.
A year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And was it a long?
It was 6 years.
6 years. So for 6 years, more often than not, you'd say he was paying.
Oh, for sure.
And were you guys about the same age, or?
Yeah, he was 3 years older.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also an attorney?
Also a lawyer, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, that's kind of interesting. I want to finish up the flaking thing, but I do want to talk about who pays on dates and stuff. So that is interesting. We'll get to the who pays thing after the flaking thing. So who do you think is more flaky, men or women?
I mean, me personally, I'm really flaky, and so is like my best friend, and Alex is pretty flaky too. So I would say, like, I guess in my worldview, women, but I honestly, I don't know.
Okay,
So.
fair enough.
Personally, I'm not flaky whatsoever. Because I was trained as a ballerina, I am very on the dot, always punctual, but I would still say women because all of my friends are really flaky.
I would say women because I flake a lot too, but I think it really depends.
Hey, no, appreciate the honesty.
Yeah. If you're a priority, then like I'm not gonna flake on you, but
Right.
same goes for the guys.
Sure. Can I ask, so, and you guys might not keep track of this, but like, how many times would you say you flaked on a guy for a date? Either like the day of or like within and not like you had like you were sick or, you know, like you just were like, I'm not really feeling it. Like, forget it.
Like 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
Only once.
Like 1 out of every 3, I'd say.
Okay.
30%.
I'd say about the same.
I'm not a flake.
You've never flaked?
No. And if
Okay,
I,
good
like,
for you.
if I have to flake, it's like for a good reason, like
Sure.
medical. Or
Yeah, if you're sick. Luke?
I am terrible with time management, but I don't feel like I'm a flaky person. Like, if I make plans with someone, I'm going to try my best to carry those out. It might be like 5 minutes late, but, you know. And if I'm going to pick someone up, then I'll be on time. But if if a friend is coming to get me and we're going to go hang out or something like that, and they're giving me the ride, they'll show up to my house and I'll just be getting out of the shower or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. And, well, yeah, that's it. So you mentioned the whole who pays on the first date thing. So I want to just go around the table, get your take. Who do you think should pay on the first date?
On the first date, I think it should be men.
Them?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I wouldn't mind like splitting it if anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if a guy asks you on the first date, maybe, I don't know, you get food, whatever, and he asks at the end of the date, hey, is cool if we split, or he asks for separate checks, are you going to feel a certain type of way about that?
No.
Okay.
I would say men for the first date, but I'm willing to split.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say, I don't know. I mean, on a random first date with somebody I've never met before, I'd probably split it so that I don't feel like how Alex was saying, like I owe them to hang out with them again in case I decide I don't want to.
Sure.
Otherwise, I think whoever makes more money.
Whoever makes more money should
Yeah.
pay. Okay. And what about, so you mentioned on the first date, but what do you think about as the dates continue, second, third, fourth date? Is it just whoever makes more money?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And I also think that, I mean, if you're going to choose to go to some restaurant with me and it's, like, for example, I don't like Greek food. If we were going to a Greek restaurant, then I'd be hoping that like you would pay because I don't even really want to eat the food.
Sure.
So, you know, it's more for you.
Okay. Go ahead.
For the first day, honestly, I would split the check because, like what they said, what if you don't like them after all?
Sure. Luke?
I think it's whoever offers to take them out. So and again, I said this earlier, I think the guys mainly has the responsibility to go up to someone and ask them on a date. So in that case, I think a guy should pay. But if a girl comes up to you and says, hey, do you want to go out? I think it should be her obligation to pay because she's the one taking you out.
You guys agree with what Luke just said?
Yeah.
And then just to get you back in on this, so your stance is the guy should pay. Correct?
Yeah.
On the first date and then continue to pay, correct?
No. I think what I was saying was like, I think in the beginning, like the initial stages, I think like going 50-50s, like fine.
If it's just casual,
If
right?
it's casual,
but
right.
if it's
If it's
looking like it's more
dating,
serious,
yeah, then I think they should.
the guy should pay.
Well, I kind of think like, yeah, I think most of the time the guy should pay. Yeah.
Okay, why?
Well, I guess it also depends on the dynamic and like in my past relationship, he definitely paid for like dinners or stuff like that, but I like paid for like groceries. So it depends on like the dynamic of the relationship. If you're like dating and you don't live together, then I think you can split it or divvy it up, whatever. But I think if you're in a relationship and you're doing, like if I'm cooking for you every night and you're not paying for it, like that's like, then take me out also. You know, I think that if you're like doing something, if I'm doing like your laundry, if I'm helping with like household chores and you're like not doing any of those things and you're also not paying for dinner, it's like there's no reciprocity. Like what am I getting out of this?
Sure.
So,
Although I mean it usually, to get to the point of living with someone, that usually is pretty I mean, it depends, but that's usually pretty far into a relationship.
Right.
So, I mean, like, let's say if that would otherwise typically happen, say, a year into a relationship, for that year period where you guys are not living together, so there's no shared household chores and there's no grocery shopping, for example. You each have your own places, etc. So what do you think under those circumstances?
that's usually like, I think it kind of like depends. It's like 50-50. I think it's kind of like what Luke was saying. If I'm like, let's go watch a movie and I'm picking the movie, it's like, I'm going to pay for it. Whereas, you know, if like he's like, let's go out to dinner, I think it's like, I would say it's more like 50-50 at that point. Depends on how serious you are.
Right. But I mean, at 6 months in, are you not ever asking the guy out? Or is it always the guy saying, hey, let's go get dinner?
No, I think I asked the guy out.
And then
I
you'll
paid for
pay.
dinner. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you're in a long-term thing. When it's getting kind of long.
It depends.
Okay.
It depends.
Yeah, there's a lot of it. Oh, yeah, it definitely depends. Okay, so, well, it's kind of interesting because a lot of you guys, when I asked earlier, a lot of you said you were feminists, right? You believe in equality. But it's interesting when it comes to paying for the first date, you want the guy to pay. So how do you reconcile being in favor of equality but also holding men to their traditional gender roles?
I mean, I like said I was a feminist, and then I don't feel like I expect a man to pay. I mean, if they make a lot more money than me, then yeah, because
Sure.
that's fair, I guess, or you know, whatever it is. But yeah, I don't know. I feel pretty good about my answer. So
Sure. Erika?
I think it's with like, if the guy initiates to pay, I'm gonna let him pay. But if he
Sure.
does ask me to like split it, I wouldn't mind at all.
Okay.
I'm the same. I'm willing to split it.
Yeah.
I think it should be 50-50. I do prefer men paying the first date because that's just, on the dates that I've been, a guy has asked me out for the first date.
Right.
So he pays. But after that, I'll split it.
Okay. But so if a guy asked you out on the first date, but he asked to split, are you going to feel a certain type of way about that?
No, I'd be fine with
You'll
that,
still,
honestly.
you'll,
Yeah.
there'll be a second date,
If I like
assuming
him,
it
yeah.
otherwise went well, just he asked you to split.
Yeah, I don't think it's a red flag.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to go on a second date with Mr. 50%, so
Yeah.
I think it's a yes for me.
Okay.
Well, honestly, I've never been on a date before. Yeah. And I always,
Wait,
And,
but you've had a boyfriend, right?
yep.
But
I've
no
had-
dates.
Yeah, I've had like 3 boyfriends. None of them have taken me out.
Like you've never gotten food with a guy?
Well, we have, but I would take them. And I
take
would always
them.
have to drive and pay. No guy has ever paid for me.
Bro, wifey material over
I'm
here.
literally like the man in the relationship. I wear the pants every time.
Do you enjoy being in that role?
I mean, I would like to have my food paid for, or like, but I'm not really big on gift giving or stuff like that. It's more like a quality time type of thing. So if I'm asking you to be with me, that's all I pretty much want.
Interesting. Okay. So you're the one always paying for the guys.
Yeah.
You work at Chipotle? Right?
Well, before
How do
I used to work at
I see. You bring them,
Paxson.
you get them a little the discount. I see. Oh, Paxson?
Yeah, I used to
Okay.
work at Paxson. So I used
Okay.
to give out discounts to the cute guys. You know, that's me shooting my shot just a tad bit. But
Okay. Huh. That's kind of unique. Yeah. So, okay. I mean, I'll give my take on this really quick. So as far as like who should pay, and Luke, so you said whoever asks should pay.
Yeah.
And I think that's a fairly reasonable position to take. My only quarrel with that is that it sort of ignores the fact that men are de facto the initiators and men de facto are the askers. So, I mean, whoever asks should pay is essentially men should pay.
Yeah.
Because overwhelmingly, not to say that there aren't some women out there occasionally that will ask a guy or will initiate a first date, but overwhelmingly, and I think this is, if you ask most men and you ask most women, men are the ones initiating overwhelmingly. They're the ones handling sort of the initial stages, and they're going to be asking for that first date. So it does sort of overlook that. There's sort of an imbalance there in terms of who's initiating. Also, I'll pay for a girl if she's much younger than me. So like you said, no, like, okay, a woman, she's a woman, but if she's younger than me, let's say she's in college, right? I'm out earning her. But like you said, like you mentioned.
I really hope that that's not the case.
I'm like, do you need a lawyer?
Yeah.
Do you need a lawyer?
What? No, okay. A woman who's 18 and over. Okay. If I'm dating a woman who's 18 and over, let's say she's in college. She could be 21, right? But she could be in college. She might not be earning a lot. So like to what you said, how it sort of depends on their earning abilities, or their income. That could be a factor. It could be a proportionality thing. Hey, maybe if we go on vacation, for example, maybe you can't afford to go to Hawaii, but I want to go. Let me treat you. If you want to pick up something, that's fine, but let me pay for it. So that's one scenario where I think it's okay. But the other thing is that dating in 2022, back in the day, like let's say when it was very much more traditional, say in the 1950s or whatever, if you went on a date with someone, that person could end up being your wife or husband. Like most people back then probably went on 3 dates, 3 people. People will do that. Will go on 3 dates in a week, 3 dates in a month. So there's a diminished likelihood of any one given date proceeding or going further. So I think for that burden to continue to fall primarily on men is not great. And to add to that point, I don't want to pay for a girl that's fucking another guy.
Oh.
So the fact of the matter is most people are sleeping with at least one other person. Like and this applies to both men and women. If you're going on a first date with someone, you have to assume going in that they're fucking at least one other person, at least one. I know some girls that got 2, 3, 4 guys on their roster. So I'm not going to adhere to my traditional gender roles, and you're fucking a bunch of other people. And that girls can have that same standard too. Girls can certainly have an issue with, I don't want to date a guy that's a player that's sleeping around. So that's my take. Yeah, because I would just feel like that would rub me the wrong way major. If I'm on a date with the girl, I pay for everything. Good night. She gives me the ass out hug. She takes the doggy bag to the guy she's fucking, gives him the food that I paid for, and he eats it, then he fucks her. That's like almost getting into cuck territory. Like, so that would be a serious problem for me. So I'm going to open it back up to you guys. You guys had a bit of a reaction to that. Does anybody want to come in?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Definitely.
Come in.
So this is a serious question. So when you plan on going on a date with someone, like, do you ask them, like, are you, like, right off the bat, like, are you sleeping with someone?
Do I ask them?
Yeah. I mean, how would you know that they're fucking other guys?
I don't. I just assume it.
So you're just assuming.
I assume if I'm going on a date with a girl.
Are you fucking other girls?
Depends. But no, mostly I typically there's been a few times there's been a bit of crossover, but 90% of the time I'm so busy I'm only like, I'm not going on a bunch of dates. If I'm going on a date, like maybe once a month, maybe. I'm just too busy. I don't have time. So most of the time, if I'm pursuing a girl, I'm probably only pursuing her really. So that's me. Go ahead. Go ahead. No,
I feel like
in.
it's weird kind of to expect that, because then if I went on a date with a guy who's single and he's not fucking any other girls, then I would be like, well, why isn't he? Like, what's wrong with him? Obviously, there's been some flags going off for other girls to make them avoid the situation. So, I mean, like, I personally would be like more inclined to want to go on a date, at least a first date,
with a guy who's
the guy who's like normal,
yeah,
who's like hooking up with girls and I'm hooking up with guys. Like, I mean, I feel like that's dating in 2022, like you said. If I was dating, then I wouldn't be like looking for the celibate weirdo. No offense, not saying you're a weirdo, but
I am
that's
bit weird.
not who I would be looking for.
Yeah, well, no, so I mean, yeah, you are right about the dating meta. Yes, and like I said, people are just willy-nilly just sleeping with a bunch of people. There's a lot of not crossover, but you're gonna be, a girl's gonna be dating a guy, he's gonna be sleeping with some other girls, like, so that is the sort of how dating is right now. I don't think that that's a good thing, but so what you're saying is you would almost prefer it if a brand new guy you're seeing, he's like fucking a couple other chicks.
Well, I mean, like, what do you mean a brand new guy I'm seeing? I'm talking about like a first date with somebody. Like, I wouldn't care, and I probably wouldn't even know if he was.
Right, but so you wouldn't be put off if you're going on the first date with a guy and you know he's sleeping with someone else. What does that say about your potential long-term prospects with that person? Because he's got another thing, he's got two side pieces. Let's say you're dating seriously. You're looking for a long-term relationship. I'm not saying that guy might not be incredibly attractive. He might be very attractive. He might be very good looking. Clearly, if he can attract other women, yes, he's got that social proof. So it's sort of speaks.
I don't feel like that would at all interrupt a long-term prospect, because I think if he likes you enough or he's into you or you have that connection. He's going to cut the
other girls off.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think if somebody really likes you and really wants to make that connection with you specifically, then yeah, they're going to like cut off all their side people to pursue you. And I think that that's oftentimes how it actually like does take place in the real world.
Well, I guess let me ask you this. Do you think it's more likely are you more likely to end up in a long-term relationship with a guy that really only dates one girl at a time and you're his only prospect, or getting with the player that's got 7 chicks and you're number 8 on his roster and he calls you on Friday nights at 12 p.m.? But you want to maybe, who knows, wait around. You're such a great woman, maybe he'll come around. Or are you he's just going to fuck you and chuck you?
That's not what I'm saying, though, because I'm not talking about like a player like, ooh, I'm going out with some guy and he's like fucking every girl in the city. I'm talking about going out with a guy who's having sex with like maybe 1 to 2 other people who he's like also seeing, and then we meet and then we decide that we really like each other, and then we have like an open conversation about like not hooking up with other people, and then that's how it goes. Like, I would never seek out nor have I ever sought out a guy who's like having sex with like 20 plus girls at a time. Like, that's just not my type.
I mean, that's a very top tier. I don't know how you'd even schedule
like 10
that.
10 girls
I mean,
at a time.
honestly, I do think when you start getting into the territory of a guy who's sleeping with 2 or 3 women at a time, you are starting to get into the territory of top tier male, high status male.
I don't know.
Like, well, maybe not high status male, but you are getting into a territory of that guy is probably not likely to want to commit. I could be wrong. Did you want to come in? And then Luke, I think you wanted to.
You can go first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, going back to, like you being bothered by this person
fucking other people
and giving them the dinner that you bought. I feel like, to me, that's weird, because it's like an ego. It's like giving, like, I'm insecure that this person's fucking other people, so it's like my ego's in the way, and I'm making all these assumptions and creating these hypotheticals, and upset that this dinner's going to this like person that you don't even know. You don't even know. And I think it's kind of like, I think that if you're very casual initial dating, like assuming that people are maybe seeing other people and there hasn't been a conversation about where this is going or what's happening, and this is like your first time like going on a date with someone, and it's like kind of like what she said. I don't think we're like going after these dudes that are like fucking all these girls and just like, you know, like looking to just like have us look like clowns at the end of the day. But I just think if you're self-aware enough, you know that people that aren't on an app are probably like seeing other people or talking to other people. So that doesn't necessarily mean that they're fucking them. I think you can make connections with people like we are now, and it's just like, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna fuck you, you know. It's just like what you messaged me on Hinge to come on this thing, you know. And so it's kind of like it's
that, by the way, that is no, I mean, that's one of the ways that I get people to come on the show is they are on a dating app. I'm like, hey, come be on the show, so go ahead.
Exactly. So it's like not every person on the app, like you're not in there to be like, I'm gonna fuck every single girl I message.
If I'm on a date with a girl, I've already decided I want to sleep with her. It might not happen, but most men, if they're on a date with a girl, even before we've even met you, we know we want to sleep with you. Girls typically don't work like that. You'll figure it out within 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, am I going to sleep with him tonight? Maybe a couple more dates, or just not interested at all.
Wait, so you know that? Like before
if I'm on a date
what if you
with
get
a girl,
catfished? Have you like, you're like, I know I'm gonna fuck this girl, and then what if you meet her and you're like, never mind. This is not the same girl I was looking at.
It's a girl has to severely fuck up in some way. Women, you got to talk yourself out of getting late. Like,
so are your standards just low?
What do you no?
Like you just will fuck anyone like that whose picture you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna fuck her.
Well, I mean, shocker, men are primarily
Yeah.
they're primarily focused on a woman's looks, and it takes a lot as a woman to like talk your way out of sex with a guy. Now, don't get me wrong, I've definitely like met the girl. She's kind of weird, or and I've been like, I'm not interested, right? But when I'm show up on the date, like, I know ahead of time, like, she's attractive. I want to sleep with her. It's not that complicated. Most men are like that.
They are.
And it's not like every single girl I'm matching with, I'm trying to like get on a date, you know? So, but okay. So to address it, you address a couple of the things you said. So I want to make it clear, like, I realize how the dating meta is, but this is just, and it's interesting that you said it was about ego and me being insecure. It has nothing to do with ego or insecurity. It just happens to be my preference, my standard. In the same way that women have all sorts of standards, preferences, and boundaries, I happen to have a preference, standard, or boundary that relates to, by the way, that relates to, I don't want the girl that I'm seeing. By the way, it's not about controlling her either. She's free to do whatever she wants. But it is a turnoff for me if I'm on a date with a girl and maybe I'm going to sleep with her the second date, the third date, maybe that night, who knows, and she fucked a guy the night before. She fucked a guy that morning. To me, that's gross. I would find that gross.
But you don't know that going into it. So
Well, I don't.
So, and you don't
There's ways to tell. There's ways. So not with certainty, but there are certain, you can see it in their behavior a little bit if they're a bit more promiscuous, or you can see there's certain things that you can tell.
Have you been on a date and then fucked someone the day before or
Sure.
the week before?
Yeah. Not in recent times.
So, okay. So now it's like, now mature you is like, I'm not down for that. But reckless you was like, I'm fucking all these girls and going on all these dates the next day.
I really have never, I've always valued, if I sleep with a girl, I want to pursue that. I want to see where it goes. It might not end up being a long-term relationship, but I'm not interested in one-time things. I'm not interested in one-night stands. I'm not a big partier. I barely drink. I'll occasionally have a glass of wine or beer. I don't go to bars. I don't go to clubs. I don't go to parties. So I'm not really into hookup culture. If I'm dating a girl, if I go on a date with a girl, I want to pursue that. A girl has to severely fuck up for me to sleep with her once and never want to talk to her again. I will continue seeing her.
Are you a serial monogamer?
Monogamer?
Yeah, monogamous.
Yeah. Monogamer.
I made up the word. Monogamer. You're a serial monogamer.
Sounds like a Pokemon.
Yeah, no. Well, do you just like, I guess it depends, right? So I think maybe our perspective is different, but also I'm like maybe jaded, probably
a little bit.
But I think, you know, it depends on like how you look at dating. For me personally, I don't really look at dating that way, because I feel like when I go into a date, like thinking like I'm gonna fuck this guy, or I'm gonna go out with this guy, or this guy's gonna be my man, like you just like put all of this pressure unnecessarily into like the date, instead of just like enjoying the date for what it is. It could be just like a connection where you had a bad day, and maybe like this person, you went on this date and it was lighthearted and it was fun and you didn't have to think about, you know, work or responsibilities, and then that was it. So it's like, but if I go into it and I'm like already like, I'm gonna fuck this guy, and if I fuck him, it's like I have to see this guy again, it has to go somewhere. I guess I just don't really look at it that way, because I also think it takes a while to really get to know someone. Like I don't know someone after one date. Right.
Well, first off, I would never go on a date with a girl just for the experience. Just, I just need to blow off some steam. I'm kind of bored. Girls will go on dates because they're bored. Okay, he's asking me to, I guess I'll go. I would never do that. Like if I'm going on a date with a girl, I have a genuine interest in seeing her. And maybe there's not a connection on the date, but I'm going to pursue it. So for me, there's never a scenario where it's like, yeah, I'm just like looking to network, go on a date, you know, maybe like I'm going in with some intentions. Now, and by the way, I want to make something clear. I don't have necessarily an expectation on the date. Like there's no expectation like this girl has to sleep with, no, not at all. Like I'm actually like not pressed at all to get laid. Like we can wait a little bit, that's fine. Not too long though. But I don't know, I think 4 dates is a good.
He's like 45 minutes.
Yeah, let's, you know, come on guys, come on. But no, so, and I'm just trying to remember the last part of your thing. And you were saying.
I forgot what I was saying.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So.
Yeah. I guess it's just, okay, I guess to finish it off, it depends on, I think this is where like what we talked about earlier, like transparency. I think that's where it's like big, because it's like if you go into a date and I know like I have no expectations, I could be like, some of the guys that I went on dates with, like I'm like good friends with, and they're just like, you know, we connected and like they're do all types of different work, and it's just like cool to know different people. But that's part of like the fun in it, because I feel like if you've dated or been in a relationship and you figure out what you don't like, how do you find out what you do like if not by dating different people? I mean, that's like the whole point of dating, to like meet people and like see what qualities you like in someone, see what qualities you don't. And I'm not gonna know that if I just like simp and stay with one dude after one date when I don't know him. It's like I usually only sleep with like one person at a time. So it's like, you know, but if I'm getting to know people, I'm pretty open about it. And if someone's not like down with it, then it's kind of probably like, it just like wouldn't, you know, I'm like very casual.
Okay. Well, I'll bring it back to and I'll let you come in because I know you wanted to come in here. So just to kind of wrap up my whole thing with this whole, I would have an issue with going on a date with a girl, and whether I know it or not, I mean, I'm kind of going in with that assumption. My issue with her sleeping with someone else, I mean, there's quite a few reasons, and that can sort of lead us into the discussion about body count, but it's just, to me, it's just the thought of sleeping with a girl that is simultaneously sleeping with someone else is just gross. Like you're letting another guy come in you, and then I'm going to fuck you. Like, to me, that is disgusting.
Who said they're coming in you? You're like, who said they're see, I feel like
these girls be on birth control.
I feel like we're getting ahead of the game. We don't really know. That's where it kind of depends. It's like, well, who are you fucking? Who are you going on these dates? Because if you're going with these girls that are like, you know, have a fucking 30-man roster, then it's like, yeah, they're probably, you know, shit's getting wild. But it's like,
even unassuming women, very unassuming women, you'd be surprised. Bro, they be fucking, I'm telling you. Same with guys. You probably
be fucking too, so I don't know.
Hey, guys too. Guys too are fucking.
Everyone's fucking, apparently.
Everyone's fucking, but for me, I got an issue with it. First off, to me, it's just men throughout all of human history men value sexual purity in women. And when I say purity, that could certainly mean virginity, but I mean, that's not happening anymore. That's pretty rare. But men throughout all of human history have valued virginity, but in the 2022 days, we just don't want the town bicycle. We don't want hoes. We might hook up with a hoe. We might sleep with a hoe, but for a long-term relationship, nah.
What's a hoe?
A promiscuous woman.
So someone that has like, because they're having sex while they're talking to you, or just like someone that's fucking multiple, like what, like?
It's a spectrum. There's a spectrum.
There's a spectrum of honeness.
There's a hoe spectrum.
What's on the low end?
Yeah.
What's low end of
The
hoe? Please define.
I mean, it gets into a bit of body count, but I mean, I would say on the low end, like, it might not even have to be having sex with another guy while she's talking to you. But I would say, like, just for the simplicity of this conversation, if I'm going on a date with a girl and we're gonna hook up maybe on the second or third date or whatever, if she's sleeping with another guy and continues to see him, I consider that a promiscuous woman. If she's sleeping with more than one person at a time, I consider that to be promiscuity. And by the way, I want to make something very clear. You're free to do whatever you want. You want to sleep with 10 guys? Do it. But I'm also free to not want to take you seriously in the long-term relationship because you're doing that. Just like, by the way, a woman is totally, I don't want to like paint this like only guys can feel this way. A woman, maybe you guys know some very naive, innocent women, and they might have a preference of, I don't want to date the player. I want to date a guy who's maybe, the thing is though, is I think women care a little bit less about the guy's body count. Most women like care more, they want an experienced guy, whereas most guys are going to be like, give me an inexperienced girl. So, yeah.
Different strokes for different folks.
I'm like,
This might be shocking to
I don't
somebody,
know.
because a lot of guys cannot be honest about these sorts of things because they're gonna insecure, ego. It's gonna be
that one really hurt you.
Oh, deeply.
It's never impacted my dating life, how many guys I've had sex with. I don't even think like my current boyfriend who I've been dating for 2 years has ever even asked me how many guys I've had sex with.
Yeah.
And I don't think he would care.
You don't think
Honest
he
to
would care?
God, he
Your
wouldn't.
current boyfriend.
I know for a fact he wouldn't care.
So if you told him that you've slept with 100 men before him, you don't think he would care?
He'd be like, I've been fucking you for 2 years now, so I don't really care because like you've only been with me for those 2 years. So,
Okay.
I mean, and I haven't.
You should ask him tonight.
Let me set the record straight. I definitely have not, but if I had, I don't think he would care. He's watching this, so.
Oh, what's up? Is he also an attorney?
No, he's
okay.
not.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe he can let us know in the chat.
I doubt he's going to.
But anyway, so,
Yeah, no.
okay, so, I mean, also there's just a few other reasons. It's just like, if they're promiscuous, there's a STD risk. It's just, there's a whole bunch of reasons. Luke, sorry, I know you wanted to come in, so I'll let
all
you
good.
come in then.
Yeah, I'm honestly gonna call. I like the whole paying for dating thing is kind of past, but God damn.
Sorry, let the motorcycle
Yeah,
go by.
we love the motorcycles.
Vroom, vroom.
No, I think.
So you wanted to come in on the...
No, I want to come in on the body count thing
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
I think it's a really difficult one because me personally, I find it really unattractive if a woman has a long extension history of just nonstop, of just hooking up with multiple guys. I think it shows that she can't commit to someone, she can't stay with someone, and same thing goes for a guy. I think it's different. I think there is a difference there. If guys like hook up with a bunch of women, then it makes them players. But if a girl hooks up with a bunch of guys, then she's a hoe. That's the societal standard. Yeah. But I think there's a point to it where it's like it's easier for a girl to get a man than it is for a man to get a girl. And that's very objective because there are some women that, can struggle with getting a guy and vice versa. So I think it comes down to a respect thing for the people you're hooking up with, as well as the respect for yourself, where it's like, hey, why am I going and hooking up with, it might not be 20, but just for conversation's sake, let's say she's hooking up with 20 different dudes at a time. I think there's something really wrong, maybe mentally, but also just sexually, you're wanting to exchange like energy with 20 other people that you barely know. Yeah.
Based Luke. Can we get some Luke X in the chat?
To be clear, I don't think we're saying like anyone's like fucking 20 dudes. I just think that there's like for sure a double standard. And I think that if we're not serious, if we don't even know if we like each other, and if we're figuring out like what we want out of it, and it like we communicate that, I think like everyone should be able to do whatever the fuck they want.
Wait, what's the double standard?
I think that kind of what he was saying, where it's like men can like fuck all these girls and be, you know, players, and women can do it and then they're hoes, and he says there's like a point to it. But I think it kind of ties into like if we're talking about equality, right, and then we're talking about, well, with the paying, it gets a little hazy where we want men to pay. Well, then here it's like a little bit hazy. It's like now it's like, oh, that's super bad, you're a non-traditional woman and you're a hoe. And it's like, you know, I think you can date and like be casual without like, you don't necessarily need to fuck 20 guys. But I also think that if you do, then who fucking cares?
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think, again, what I was saying on the fact that, like, women have the opportunity, like, there's a saying, women will sleep with who they want, men will sleep with who they can, if you've ever heard that. I think there's a point to it, because like you were saying earlier, if again, I don't have Tinder, but I know how it works. If I see a girl that I want to start dating, it's not going to be on her, like, personality chart, because you're not going to learn shit from a little bio. Yeah. It's going to be mainly off her looks, and then I'm hoping through the interaction with her that I'm gonna like, oh, she's actually like a really cool individual. I want to get to know her more. But there is still that like, you know, thought like, I want to hook up with this girl. Whereas for a girl, she'll just do it for attention, and again, it's, you know, I'm not taking away credit from the people who actually want a relationship or are just using it to hook up, but there are some women that use it just to get attention. They have no, you know, intention of going any further with a guy. And so I think there honestly should be a dating app where it allows you to, because Tinder and Bumble are both used heavily for just one night stand hookups, like meeting someone without actually interacting with them in the real world. You're just seeing some pictures saying, hey, matched, let's hook up. I think there should be something that says, hey, I'm ready to get into a devoted relationship with someone. If you're the same, we should start talking. If you're just looking for a hookup, don't talk to me, because I know you're gonna have, you know, side options that you're gonna be using, because again, you're not looking for something stable in that scenario. I'm not really looking for anything stable right now, so I can, you know, it's a little ironic that I'm saying it, but I get that. It is a little ironic that I'm saying it.
Well, you're talking like idealistically, right?
Yeah. And again, if I wanted to get into like a really, really long-term relationship, I don't want to have the thought like, oh, this girl has, you know, 2 other dudes that she's talking to, which is the case almost 100% of the time right now, especially for like me coming out of high school. You guys said you were coming out of high school as well?
Yeah.
It's the age right now is so like garnered to this hookup culture, and it's so easy with like Snapchat and Tinder to just, you know, hit someone up, say, hey, I think you're hot or whatever, and get with someone.
Do you want to come in on, or
we can switch it up. Or I can
so you mentioned the double standard. What is it? Just explain. What were you referencing in terms of the double standard?
I don't remember at this point.
Oh,
I think it was that guys can hook up with people and considered a player.
Well, okay, so Luke made a good point. Just to end that thing. So I think that, I think you're totally right. But it's like, so right now you're not looking for anything. So you're probably like more casual than you normally would be. Yeah. So exactly. It kind of depends. It's like if you're getting serious with someone, then it's like, obviously it's like you don't want your significant other fucking 20 other people, okay? But it's like if you're casual, then do you really care?
I still think it is a thing because, as I said earlier, I think there is an energy like passing when you have sex with someone. It's not just like some platonic, like, you know, I'm fucking her and then I'm done. like there is some type of bond that you create
Yeah.
when you have sex with someone. And so I think for, you know, a guy to go hook up with a bunch of different girls that have hooked up with a bunch of different guys, it's kind of like, I guess, dirtying the water of your energy, if that makes sense. It kind of muddies your whole sexual and relationship like feel and attitude. It's more of a hookup.
Does anybody else on the panel want to come in on this discussion?
I want to comment on that one. I think it's called like energy transferring.
Yeah.
Like if someone's a shitty person and you fuck them, you're gonna get that shitty energy from them, and you're gonna manifest like a bad like life day. I don't know.
I don't think it's just a bad like day. I think it transfers over, and you know, I don't want to say like, oh, you know, everybody has their own energies and all this, and if you sleep with someone messed up, you're gonna pass that bad energy onto yourself, and then it's gonna go to the next person. But you know, there should be some thought into who you're hooking up with.
No, I definitely agree on that. I just, like, I'm not saying you can't hook up. I think it's completely fine. Do what you want to do. Everyone should be able to. But I think you should be a little bit selective of who you do choose to do that with.
Word. So as far as the double standard goes, just to address that whole thing. So I believe that the double standard is justified. Here's
Elaborate.
why. What's that?
I said elaborate.
So, and I think Luke put it something like, women sleep with who they want, men sleep with who they can. Mm-hmm. So it's incredibly easy for women to sleep with men, whereas it's quite hard for men to sleep with women. It's challenging, it's hard, it's difficult. So that's why it's kind of like, if a guy can sleep with a lot of women, that's like kind of impressive. Like that takes something. He's got game. He's got some sort of status. He's smooth with the ladies. You don't need to, as a woman, to sleep with a lot of men. You don't need to be smooth. You don't need game. You just show up. I'm at the bar. I'm at the club. The guys will come to you. You don't have to really do anything. If any girl here goes to a nightclub tonight, goes to a bar tonight, goes to a party tonight, just stand in the corner. Some guy's coming to talk to you. Probably multiple guys are coming to talk to you. Let me buy you a drink. How's your night going? Da-da-da-da-da. Most men, if they go to a bar, club, whatever, party, just stand there alone. Nobody's talking to them the entire night. They're going to stand there alone like a loser, like a dork. Nobody's going to talk to them. No girls are going to hit on them. Let's say an average man versus an average woman. Even the average woman goes to a bar, club. Some guy's going to hit on her. Average guy at a bar, bro, he's ignored the entire night. So it's easy for y'all to get laid. For men, that shit's hard. You disagree because I guess you apparently it's sort of the reverse for you.
I also like those type of guys that are like shy and like mysterious. So if I see like a man in the corner and like no one's socializing with him, I will go up to him and create a conversation.
Really? Have you done that before?
Yes, I have actually.
You have?
Yeah.
Like at a what?
Like at a party.
College party?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm the guy. You're the girl. Okay. Hit on me.
Oh God, this is gonna be horrible.
What do you do?
Okay. Well, if there's music, I'll be like kind of like bouncing over just a little. I'll be like, hey, like, what are you up to? And
what am I up to?
Yeah.
I'm at this party, which you are also at. Anyways, I'm
bad. See, because when I see them, then I'll like try to think of what I'll do. Like I can't do it on the spot. I need courage for that.
Okay, fair enough. So I said my piece. You guys were kind of grimacing over there. Do you guys want to come in?
I think it's easy to get laid if you're down to just like sleep with any guy.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
But most women aren't. And I just don't think it's true. I mean, that's just how I feel. Like,
just be specific though. What's not true?
I think that it's very hard for some women to get laid. If you want to just get laid by any creep or whatever, and like it's like you're literally just like being a vagina at that point, then of course. But if you actually want to like meet a guy that you're interested in and have sex with him, then you're not going to necessarily have an easy time just by like standing in a bar and meeting some guy. I think it can be really hard to like to hook up with guys. I don't think it's like super easy in that you have like billions of guys rushing to you trying to hook up. I'm sure it's the same for men, but I just don't agree like in that stark separation. Like that's never been my experience, so I don't know. I mean, maybe some girls.
I could take every single girl at this table down to the street right there.
Yeah, to a creepy like homeless
No.
man.
I could find you a guy that is at least as attractive as you are. Your male looks equivalent, who would sleep with you that night.
Who would just show up and be like, "Please, can I sleep with you?" Or what? Like that's what I'm saying. Like
no,
how?
Like if you were so inclined, you wouldn't even have to say, "Come down there with me." We're not going to actually do this. I'll go up to the guy on your behalf and I'll say, I'll pretend to be your gay best friend. I'll go up to the dude, let's fucking Blake or whatever. Well, we don't know his name yet, but I'll go up to the guy, say, "Hey, what's up? Hey, you see my girlfriend over there? She's a bit shy. She thinks you're really cute. Like, bro, she's kind of down. Like, just go say hi to her. Boom, boom." He'll go.
That man could have a girlfriend though. Like you don't know. You can't just walk up to the people's situations are so different.
I'll go up to the next guy that walks by, and then the next, and the next.
So I could do that for you, and I'm sure I'd find somebody who wants to hook up with you as well.
No. Because here's the difference. And I mean, I know this is a very hypothetical scenario. I could walk up to a guy and say, "That's my girlfriend over there. We're just friends. She thinks you're cute. She's, go say hi to her. She's interested, blah, blah, blah." He would be like, "Oh, sweet, dude. Fucking awesome. Like, that's probably never happened to me." If it was the reverse and I was with my female friend and you approached a female on my behalf, that girl you go up to, she'd be like, "Was he a pussy? Why can't he come up to me himself?" Immediately she's going to be like, she's just by the fact of you going up, she's going to be turned off by that. "Why can't he come up to me himself? He's right there. He's too shy. I don't want a shy guy. See ya." So the scenario doesn't work in the reverse. It could, but there's no way someone's going to talk. There's no agent that's going to talk me into getting to bed with a woman. I would have to do it myself.
I don't know.
We could try.
Think it's there's so many factors that go into that, so many personality factors that go into that, so many like different things that you'd have to consider. I just don't think it's that black and white, but I understand where you're coming from.
Well, okay, so again, this is a hypothetical scenario, but if I was out with a female friend and I told her, I was like, "Hey, you see that girl over there? She's really cute. Can you go talk to her for me?" And then she goes and talks to the girl and she tells the girl, "Hey, go up to him. He thinks you're cute." She's going to be like, nah, she's going to be like, "He can come to me." Like, nah. In
that situation, yeah, that's kind of weird, but like that's not how anything takes place. It's more likely that I'm gonna DM some guy I'm friends with and be like, "Oh, my friend who's a girl thinks you're hot, dude, like here's her Instagram or whatever," and then he's like, or like vice versa. Like if I have a guy friend, I've literally done this with Alex, where I've been like, "Oh, my guy friend," or whatever. Like I've told him that like I had a cute like single girlfriend,
and he messaged her
through Instagram, but I was like the coordinator.
But why didn't the girl message him?
Because I don't know. I don't know.
But okay, so.
But all I'm saying is like in the online realm, I think that these things function a lot differently, and I think that that's how people date for the most part now. For like, it's not really like me going up to some random guy on the street and being like, "Oh, hey, it's so good to meet you."
What I would actually say is that on dating apps and on social media, what I'm talking about here is actually more pronounced than it is in real life. Because on dating apps, it's just looks. On Tinder, people are just looking at looks. So, and what they've actually done some sort of experiments or studies on this. The top 10% of men on Tinder they get the lion's share. So you have 80% of the women that are chasing after the top 10% of men. Because men rate women on a bell curve in terms of attractiveness, but women, I think something like find 80% of men unattractive, physically unattractive. And they've done studies on this on OkCupid. And we can go around the table really quick. Like of the men that you see, let's say on a dating app or in day-to-day interactions, what percent of men would you say you find physically attractive? They don't have to be a male model, but you find physically attractive.
40%.
40%? Okay.
25.
Okay. I know you're
Wait,
in a
is this in Hinge? Wait, is this just in my life?
You could, let's just say dating apps.
I guess like maybe
What percent of men would you, I know you're in a relationship right now, but what percent of men
like
would you?
15 to 20%.
Okay.
Same, probably.
15 to 20? Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I always go based off of looks first. So
She goes based off looks. Okay. So are you on the dating app right now?
Nope.
In person, just if you had to throw a number out.
Like 55%.
Okay, that's fair. Well, Luke, you're not dating men, so.
No.
But I can ask you, what percentage of women would you say you find, they don't have to be like top tier model girls, but what percent of women would you say you find physically attractive, either on dating apps or in person?
Again, that I see, probably like 50, 60.
Okay.
I'm going to chime in real quick.
I'd say like at least here in IV, honestly, like 80% of the women I see in Isla Vista, I think are physically attractive. But
Same
go ahead.
with
You
men.
said you wanted to, wait, same?
Same with men.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
there's some pretty good-looking guys here.
Okay, fair enough. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I just think it's interesting. We're talking about how, you guys are like not into hookup culture, but we're like going, you also just kind of go based off looks and whether you want to like fuck someone right away. So then it's like,
I have other, I have
well,
other.
do you? Okay, so what do you find, what do you
I
look
have
at
a-
on a Hinge profile?
On
like
a Hinge profile?
That's, if we're talking like, is it just like, do you guys just
I mean, most,
go off of physical? I only have Hinge, so I don't know Tinder, but like, is it just physical or do you like read people's shit?
I read girls' stuff, and I actually think the highest amount, the way to get the most matches and the most success is actually like to read the prompts, and if you can, do something clever. But even then, or say something clever in response to a Hinge prompt. But I mean, it starts with appearance, and then, I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, most girls' dating profiles are bogus, like weak. There's some good ones. But I mean, it starts with looks, but I mean, I think for a lot of men, if they don't, like for me, I'm interested in more long-term. If it's just casual, like one-time thing, I think guys are going to prioritize looks, but I prioritize other things, and I can get into it. I have some traits here, and I've written them down. So here we go, and this is a whole bunch. A woman not need have all of these, but if she does, she's a unicorn. So, youthful, feminine, fidelitas from the jump.
What is that?
Fidelitas, so sexual faithfulness. Peaceful, pleasant, not quarrelsome, doesn't nag, gentle, innocent, modest, humble, demure, temperance, cooperative, submissive. And that word gets a bad rap, but to put it another way, willful cooperation. So follows my lead, right? Because here's the thing, like I know you guys are kind of grimacing or whatever, but like a lot of y'all will say, I want a guy who's successful, ambitious, confident, blah, 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 blah. You want all these things in a man, right? Maybe you want a guy who's dominant. Well, if you want that, you have to, there can't be two leaders. I believe in a relationship. Someone has to lead. That's my take. You guys might disagree. That's totally fine. I'll give you a few more. Not obese, fit, petite, boobs. I don't really care. I'm not gonna front. I'm kind of team small boobs. Okay, nice ass is good. Doesn't have plastic surgery. Not a fan of plastic surgery. No BBL. No fake breasts. No lipo. No fake lips. Doesn't cake on makeup, or wears no makeup. That's my preference. Has long hair. Shaves her body hair. Not a hoe. Not the town bicycle. So low body count. Doesn't post overly revealing photos online. No like sex work currently or in the past. Not a single mother. Doesn't party. Doesn't go to bars, clubs. Drinks in moderation or doesn't drink at all. So those are some.
And you said you're single, correct?
So what are you looking for?
What-
Like, just a
what's-
hot, like,
That's just a really long list.
Well, I mean, some of them are a bit repetitive. But were there any in particular that you took issue with? Because a lot of these are fairly, not particularly difficult for a woman to do.
What's your definition of feminine?
What's my definition of feminine? I mean, some of the words that I used in this list are what would be considered traditional sort of feminine traits or characteristics.
So
feminine, like a bit more demure, for example. I don't want some loud, obnoxious chick. No offense.
And what you said about posting revealing stuff on like Instagram. So like, again, your definition of revealing.
Like bikini pics?
Yeah.
I'll tolerate it. I'll
Why
tolerate
does it
it.
bother you though?
So men and women flirt differently. So men, we have to go up to you, but women, the way women flirt is by being there. Let me ask, do you get DMs from guys on Instagram that are romantically interested in you? Any girls at this table?
Few.
A few? Okay, so this is gonna piss some people off, but like, you receive attention in different ways. I don't get any DMs from women. Most men, the vast majority of men, will never get a DM from a woman in their life in terms of a romantic interest. As a woman, you just post some photos, bikini photo, tons of DMs coming in from dudes, sugar daddies, let me pay you $1,000 to take you to Starbucks. That's how women flirt. You just have to show up, right? So it's a bit different. Bikini photos, whatever, fine. I would say though, like, I'm just gonna be totally honest, I do prefer women who dress a bit more modestly and have a public facing modesty. That's just, I wanna make something clear. Women are free to post bikini photos. That's totally fine. But this is just a preference and a standard of mine.
So then what,
I'm
if
not,
you'll tolerate bikini pics, what's your stance on like guys posting shirtless pics, or like if they...
It's different. It's a bit different because like, guys, we don't really get DMs like that. Like, we don't really get that sort of attention.
I can pull out my phone and look at tons of fitness influencers or guys on TikTok who
that's
post
their job.
Yeah,
That's
but
their
they
job,
post
though.
thirst traps, and they may not get a ton of DMs, but they've got tons of thirsty comments, and I mean, I know they all get DMs.
I mean, the bikini photo thing, it's fairly low on my totem pole of importance. Like, it's not, to me, it's not so much a deal breaker, but would it be my preference if a girl just didn't even have social media? Probably. That would be my preference if she had no social media.
Why?
Because that's how women flirt, is to be out there in the ether. Now, listen, I mean,
This is giving red flags a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
See, but here's the interesting thing is that men are not allowed to have preferences, standards, and boundaries. Nobody bats an eye when a woman says, I want XYZ in a partner. But the moment a guy says, here are my boundaries, preferences, and standards, misogyny, red flag, this, that. And the fact of the matter is, women are more picky than men are. Women, and maybe you guys disagree, women have far more standards for men than do men have standards for women. Women are incredibly picky. Not just looks-wise, but also certain character traits. Nobody bats an eye when a woman has, like I said, wants XYZ. But if a guy says, I want XYZ, insecure, misogyny, blah, 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 it's always going to be met with some sort of shaming language. But go ahead.
Well, I agree, but I also think women a lot of the times are met with like equally shaming language, like we talked about, like them being called hoes. So,
but in respect to their preferences, standards, and boundaries, if a woman has certain,
then they're asking for too much, or they have really high standards. So I think it goes both ways. I mean, I think that, and I think you're right. You have your preferences of what you're looking for in a partner. Totally respect it, but they're interesting preferences, I think, because like you don't think two people can lead in a relationship. That's interesting. I feel like that kind of, so why? Do you need to be the one that's like in control, like leading, you're the successful one.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Was
like
there
is that kind of what you mean? Like, I just thought that was super interesting. What do you mean you can't?
I would have no issue dating a woman who is actually the breadwinner. That wouldn't necessarily be an issue. The issue, I think, is more so most women date up and across, so they're not going to date down. If a woman's an attorney, you guys are, I assume, very successful. You make decent money. Attorneys make decent money. You're probably not going to date the guy that works at Starbucks.
That's not
I disagree.
true.
I disagree. I think that based on
your last boyfriend paid for everything.
Right, but clearly I'm not with him. So I don't think that necessarily is true for me. So I think that it depends on like just a whole bunch of other things. And I think that I actually don't have my like occupation on my Hinge profile. It's not something I tell people right off the bat. It's not something I ask right off the bat, because I feel like you can have, you can have this like high title, or you can be, famous or whatever, or rich, and you can be a shitty person, and it's like probably not interested in dating you, And so I don't really ask. I like to feel out the vibes. I definitely don't want a couch potato, but I think that like if the vibe's right and it like works, I would date like someone that works at Starbucks if they're a good person. Like I'm into it. Like,
okay, so would you date a guy who wants to be a stay-at-home dad? Do you want
Yes.
kids?
yes.
First off?
Do I want kids?
So
I don't know.
when you have, okay, so you'd be totally okay having a life partner and you're providing everything for them.
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I think that.
That's fine.
If
Then lead. Then that's totally fine. You should lead then.
yeah.
You're gonna be the boss.
Or
Probably in that
you can find someone that's equally a boss that isn't threatened by your energy and you being a boss, and you guys can just both be bosses together.
I suppose. I mean, they've done studies on this, and the fact of the matter is most women date across and up socioeconomic hierarchies. So most women, the thing is, as a woman, as you become more successful, your pool of potential partners tends to shrink, because most women don't want to date a guy below them socioeconomically. If you're making $250,000 a year as a litigation attorney, I know you guys aren't doing, well, I don't know, whatever. Like, you're probably going to want to date someone who's at your level or above you. I'm sure you guys know some very hyper successful, incredibly brilliant women that probably would not be satisfied dating a barista.
Well, I think it depends also, because once you're in the profession and you're networking and you're rubbing elbows with you're just going to meet those types of people. It's not until you go on Hinge where you're like, oh, okay, it's a different world out there. But
right.
I think that, I think that at least the women I hang out with and the like women that I like definitely vibe with more, like it's just not something that's like on my, like, you have a list, like that's not on my list. Like my significant other, like I don't really care what they do or how much they make. It's just like, are they supportive? Are they a good person? Like, do they have a sense of humor? Can I trust them? Like those kind of things are, I feel like, what's important. Like, I think you can lead with a partner and communicate and be fine. I don't think it has to be like a competition. That's exactly what my last relationship was, and like not it. So.
Okay. Cool. Did anybody else want to come in on this?
I mean, I definitely agree. It doesn't matter to me what their occupation is or what they do, how much they make. I will say that it does matter that they have some sort of ambition or drive. Like if they're a barista, that's cool, that's fine. But if they want to half-ass that and work part-time and spend the rest of their time literally doing absolutely nothing, that's a different story.
Okay. See, I guess the difference, and I realize there's women that are in perfectly happy relationships where they're the primary breadwinner. Maybe the guy's he's not employed, he's taking care of the household, taking care of the family. But I'm speaking in generalities here. Of course, there are all sorts of dynamics in relationships, but I would say overwhelmingly, like most women date across and up in terms of their partner choices. Like, if I was an attorney, I would have no issue dating a woman that worked at Chick-fil-A, that worked at McDonald's. If I'm making 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, I'll date the baddie 19-year-old. Like, to me, a woman's money is not really important to me. But I would say a man's career, a man's finances are more important to women. It's more of a factor.
Can I chime in?
Of course.
I think that when you have a job where you make enough money that you can support yourself and you don't have to worry about anything, like whatever happens in my dating life, like I'll be good. If my boyfriend makes no money, if I don't have a boyfriend at all, if like nothing happens, like I'll be able to afford all my own shit. And so I think it actually like opens up your pool of people, because if you're going out there and you're being like, I don't make that much money and I need to meet some guy who's going to be able to make enough money that he can support our kids, then like, yeah, of course that's going to be a concern. If you don't care about that because you can support your own kids and you can pay for your own shit, then like you don't care about like what your boyfriend's doing necessarily. Like, yeah, I want him to be happy and passionate about his career, but I don't care if he's making more money than I am or even like the same amount. It doesn't matter.
And if that is a woman's genuine position, like, hey, I'm making all this money, I'll date a guy who's kind of a bum, you know, I
didn't say a bum. I said like somebody who makes less money than me.
Sure, but I think I do genuinely think most women want to date a guy that's on their level or above. I think that's the case for most women. I could be wrong, and I think we're also seeing this. I mean, we could also ask this, like, would you, just to go around the panel really quick, do you want, who's in school right now? Is it the ballet thing, or are you also taking
I'm also a college student.
Yeah, so let's say when you want to get your bachelor's degree, would you want to date a guy that has at least attained your level of education or higher?
I don't think education matters to me as much, because you can do so much without a degree. Even the career that I want to go into, I can do without my degree. So education doesn't bother me. I do think like the person I choose to be with has to have some sort of ambition or drive to want to do something with their lives. Doesn't matter what, but they have to want to do something with their lives.
Sure. Anybody else on the college thing?
Yeah, I don't think it really matters for education, because like my parents, they don't have like a college degree at all, but they still found each other. And I mean, they're not together, but I don't even know why. But a lot of people don't do college or education because they don't have the money for it. And so if they just like work or like something, like a hobby, then I'll be fine with them.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely spoken to women who would take issue with a guy who has attained a lower level of education than they have. So I don't know, but I don't know how we got onto my long list. By the way, this list is like more of a, some of these like for sure I definitely want, but this was more so like, because I was going to compare it to some of the standards that women have for men, and maybe I can go through a few of what I think are some of the preferences, standards, or boundaries that women have for men, and we can also just sort of compare. And it's also an exhaustive, quite a long list too. So women want a guy who's tall, not balding. We'll start with physical stuff and then move into more personality stuff. Tall, not balding, full head of hair, muscular, fit, strong, didn't skip leg day, nice forearms, wide shoulders, six-pack abs, large peen, clean shaven, or some women have a preference for a guy who has a mustache or beard. But I think majority it's clean shaven. Dresses nicely, who can protect her, who can provide, who's confident, masculine, a leader, dominant, ambitious, successful, financially well off, matches or exceeds her income, matches or exceeds her level of education, matches or exceeds her socioeconomically, chivalrous, pays for dates, decisive, leader, charming, witty, can carry a conversation, good communicator, treats you like a queen, whatever that means, even though you're a court jester at best, funny, exciting, tells good stories, intelligent, competent, handy, doesn't live with his parents. Wait, Eric, just doesn't live with his parents, doesn't play video games, doesn't watch porn, doesn't have a photo of him holding a fish. Oh. Apparently that's a thing. Can fix things, stoic, sexually experienced, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the one I gave previously, I was just sort of generally outlining some of the some of the standards or preferences men have in women, and I believe these are some of the standards or preferences women have in men. I don't think women necessarily want or can even secure all these things in men, but broadly speaking, I think both of those things are what women and men want.
I disagree.
On what? Okay,
Like,
so you don't want a tall guy? How tall are you?
I'm 5'5". The
Okay.
guy I'm talking to right now is 5'8".
He's taller than you. Would you
Yeah.
date a guy who's smaller than you or
I
shorter than
have.
you? Would you date a guy who's physically smaller than you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead. Tall? Would you want to date a guy who's tall?
Well, I'm like 5 feet, so I don't think I'm gonna meet
But-
a guy shorter than 5 foot.
Let's say you did. Would you date a guy who's shorter than you?
Maybe if they're cool, I'd go on a date with them. Potentially.
Do you have a height preference? You don't have any height preference.
I mean, most guys are just like taller than me because I'm so short, but
Well, it happens to be the case, right? That they're taller
so
than
it
you.
just so happens that, yeah, I guess
But-
it's just happened that way. But do I have a,
You would have no issue. If you had to think about like ideal partner, height isn't even a factor. He could be 4'11", but he could be your ideal partner.
maybe, I don't know.
Okay, fair
Where are
enough.
the 4'11" kings? I don't know.
There you go. Height. How tall was your last boy? Well, it doesn't matter. Go ahead.
I prefer, I guess, taller guys who are taller than me.
Sure.
I'm 5'6".
Okay.
I'm the same.
Prefer guys who are taller than you?
Yeah.
Taller, yeah.
Okay, how tall are you?
5'3".
Okay. What's your like height cutoff? Do you want 6 feet?
5'9" and up is good.
Okay, and what about for you?
5'10", just because I
Okay.
like to wear heels.
Sure. Okay, so that was just one. That was the tall thing. So you said you disagreed with a lot of these, though.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can disagree with me on some of my preferences that I believe women have in men. I think some of you already disagreed a little bit on the preferences that I believe men have in women. But go ahead. Did you want to come in on anything else?
No.
Okay. Luke, did you want to come in on
Yeah,
anything?
I'd like to add something.
Sure.
I think that like getting into the door, like talking to a woman, I think it's higher demanded that, you know, you do have a higher income. Like if some dude walked up to you guys and he was wearing some like nasty clothes, probably old, didn't smell really good, like that's not like an attractive like individual.
But making less money than someone else
Doesn't
doesn't
mean
mean
you
you're
look like
stinky and gross.
No,
like, that's
but
like not.
but it means that you can't show yourself off as well as someone with a higher income. Like because
like would I date a homeless person? Likely
that's not what I'm saying.
But
I'm
like,
saying like if a guy works a McDonald's job, he's not going to be driving like Mercedes Benz around. But if a really attractive dude pulled up in a Mercedes Benz, like with nice clothes on, expensive, I feel like a lot of women, at least 80%, would go for the guy in the Benz, even if it was the same person. If it was the exact same person and some dude walked up in some like baggy jeans, didn't look very good, but like, you know, his body and his face the exact same, but outfit wise, appearance wise, was just a little bit on the lower income side versus the same guy driving up in a Urus or something. Like it could even be like the most basic high-end car, so like a BMW or something. That's gonna get chosen a lot more than the guy that's doesn't have as good of an outlook of himself, like appearance. And that's shown only through monetary value, because he can show off, hey, I'm successful, I make a lot of money, you know, I'm succeeding in life. A woman's gonna go and choose him over the guy that's like kind of down on his luck or doesn't have a very good job, because it's more stable. There's more stability in the guy that has like, even if you don't like, you're not going to know him, right? There's more stability going into it, knowing that, hey, I'm going to be financially stable with this person versus having to fight for like, you know, earn a living with this other guy.
I think that does make sense. I think that with respect to cars, I mean, I don't think I've ever based any decision about a guy off of his car, because like you can have a short-term lease on a Mercedes Benz doesn't mean you're rich.
Yeah.
Also, I just think like looks-wise, having less money, like I've never found the best dressed guys that I've dated. The most handsome guys that I have dated have not ever been the richest guys. Like, it's just like, I don't think there's a correlation there. Like, I do think, I understand what you're saying where you can dress up to impress. So like, yeah, if we were going out to like a 5-star restaurant, then like, I think that's where that kind of, that delineation, like that would show there, but not if you're just like going on a first date. I would expect a guy to be wearing like a basic outfit. I'd be wearing a basic outfit, like whatever, you know what I mean? Like, unless we're going out to like an event kind of thing.
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from, but I just like, I don't know. I just feel like that's a hard correlation for me to draw.
Yeah, I'm not talking about, by the way, like the first date. I think first date, you put some thought into your appearance. I'm talking about like walking up to a woman and like saying, hey, you know, I find you really attractive. Is there any way I can get your contact information? I think a guy that's better dressed, who is showing off more wealth and more stability, is going to have a much easier time getting that woman to find him not necessarily more attractive, but more like, more attractive, more optimal to look into a relationship with that person than someone who's, you know, isn't as dressed up. That's what I'm saying with getting through the door. That's the starting point. As soon as you get onto a first date, you know, you're going to dress up as well as you can. You can go and rent out that sport car for a day and show off.
I do want to move on just a little bit because we do have some super chats we have to get to. I also do want to come back in because there were a couple different conversational threads that we didn't really get to wrap up. But really quick, we're going to do just a few super chats. So we have we just have one from Stifler, not a super chat, but Stifler, ask everyone to rate their looks on a scale of 1 to 10. You guys, Erika?
Wait, like myself?
Yeah.
Oh, 10.
Into the mic?
10.
10.
10.
Like a 6.
Luke?
I was going to say like a 7, maybe 8.
Bruv. Luke?
You're like,
You gotta be like a
10.
9, my dude. I give myself like
We love a humble
6.9 on a good day. Okay, so but 10? 10, really? It's a bit of hubris, a little bit, don't you think? I mean, 10?
It's confident, not confident.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
I think I
Hey.
see where you're going to go with this, and that's, with the whole, you know, improving yourself. Is that where you're going with this?
Nah, not really.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to get into the whole 1 out of 10 thing. I would say though, if you view yourself as a 10, then part of finding a partner, right? Like if you view yourself as a 10, then surely you must deserve a 10. So if you have a bunch of women who think they're 10, I mean, this also comes back to what percentage of men do you find attractive? If Danny DeVito thinks he's a 10, he's like, let's say Danny DeVito without the status, right? If he thinks he's a 10, but let's say, you know, take away the status, he's just some regular dude, he ain't landing a Victoria's Secret model, right? So I'm not saying any of you look like Danny DeVito. Okay, let me just make that clear. But I think that's one of the problems in the dating marketplace is people don't have a reasonable self-assessment of their own attractiveness, and thus their standards they're not going to be able to secure the type of partner that they're going after if they think they're a 10. No offense, guys.
I have a partner.
I disagree.
I'm getting
but-
death stares. We're going to move on from that. Everyday Edgar with the $2 super chat. Luke's better looking than, okay. Everyday Edgar chat wants Luke to make out with Erika.
Do it. Just
Wait, are you guys, has there been like, I haven't been, has there been like some electricity going on? Like you guys, okay, we're gonna move on. Sorry to make it awkward there. Wickets won 1988 with the Czech kroners, I believe. I don't know if it's kroners, whatever. Thank you for the Czech, 200 Czech currency. Luke, take Erika out after the, wow, they're really shipping Luke
Do
and
it.
Erika. Okay.
do it.
Good times. Hey, she can get you like the hookup on Chipotle. Just saying, Luke.
Yeah.
Just saying. Okay.
You have
So,
to pay though.
ooh, rip. Rest in peace. So, okay. So there are two kind of conversational threads I wanted to really wrap up quickly, and then we're going to go to we got some videos to react to. So you made a comment about, ooh, Brian, what's with the bikini photo thing, you know? And I do want to just reiterate, when I did go over that list, that was kind of like a broad list of what I think guys, in terms of their preferences, what they want in women. The bikini photo thing on the Instagram, some guys have an issue with it. I don't really care, but like if I had to pick, I would say I'd prefer a girl, one, if it was like Instagram was a bit more private, if she was a bit more, had a public facing modesty. So if she's just more modest publicly, or if she just didn't have social media. I don't know. So, because, I don't know, social media is like part of, I want to actually paint a dream world hypothetical scenario that kind of is I don't know if I'm using that word right, related to this. And it has to do with why I would have an issue if I was in a relationship with a girl if she was constantly going to bars and clubs, right? So did you guys object to that one at all? Like, so one of my preferences for a girlfriend is, and this isn't like, there's a reciprocity on this. I don't go to bars and clubs, parties. I barely drink. So something I'm looking for in a partner, not just for reciprocity reasons, but just because I think it's bad for relationships, is going to bars and clubs. So do any of you have a quarrel with that? I
think it's completely valid, honestly, because I'm very 50-50. I do like to go out, but I also don't like to stay in. So I don't want a partner who is constantly going to want to go out every single night of the week. So I think it's a completely valid thing to want.
Erika, do you want to come in on this?
I think it's 50-50 too. Sometimes I want to stay in, and sometimes I'd rather go out.
Okay. But let's say let me ask. So let's say you're in a long-term relationship with a guy, and he said, hey, listen, like, it kind of makes me uncomfortable that you're going out to the bars and clubs. Like, would you then say, you know what, babe, I love you, like, I'll stop going, or fuck you, I'm gonna do what I want?
Am I going out like weekly? Like, is it like a bad habit? Or if it's like every once in a while?
Maybe a couple times a month.
Oh, I think that's a red flag.
Okay. Does anyone else want to come in on this, you guys?
I think it just depends on your lifestyle.
Sure.
Yeah, what she said.
Okay.
I think it depends on like the trust you have with your partner.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to paint really quick, and I got this written down. This is a dream world hypothetical scenario. This is dream world. So this would, unless as a guy, you're like super famous, girls really aren't hitting up guys like this. But in the example I'm about to provide, hypothetical. So in the real world, the vast majority of men, and I think I touched on this, who go out to parties, clubs, bars, straight up would get ignored if they didn't make the first move. So would you be okay with your long-term monogamous partner going to well, you guys didn't really push back on this, so I don't know if I need to provide the dream world hypothetical. Do you guys want to hear it?
Yes.
Okay, so this is kind of, and this sort of goes into a bit of the double standard as to why, because we were talking a bit about, you mentioned how guys don't really, or you were saying how it's not so black and white, and women get approached, men get approached, like, so this is sort of painting it from the frame of why men might have an issue with their significant other going to the bar club. So would you be okay with your long-term monogamous partner going to a nightclub, bar, or party type environment where throughout the course of the night, he's going to get approached, flirted with, and sexually pursued by numerous attractive women, some of which are more attractive than you and could potentially be a better partner than you? These women are buying him drinks, getting him drunk, and enthusiastically want to sleep with him that night and steal him away from you. It also just so happens to be the case that you guys had a major argument earlier on in the day. He's with his single manho friends. They're rallying. They're being a bad influence, telling him, hey, you should do it, and talking. Well, okay. So all that hypothetical scenario described, would you be okay with that scenario, your partner being in that environment?
No, but I've also like literally been in that exact same situation. So
your boyfriend, he was going out.
Not my current boyfriend, but yeah, I've definitely been in that exact same situation. So
sure. But this is a total hypothetical scenario because I basically painted what happens to women when they go out.
But you're not even a woman. Like, how do you know that that's what happened? I feel like that's never happened to me, where guys are just like trying to get me drunk, trying to fuck me any chance they get. Like, that's like, I go out with my girlfriends, we dance, we talk, we go home. Like, I don't know, like, that's just not, is that anybody here's experience?
You've never, a guy's never offered to buy you a drink at a bar.
Offering to buy somebody a drink and like heavily sexually pursuing someone is like so different.
Yeah,
it's like a movie type thing. You don't really see that in the real
Yeah,
world.
you really don't.
I feel like that was a very specific hypothetical that isn't like
into the mic.
That doesn't. I don't think.
Put the mic, like pull it towards you closer.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that like is like a realistic. I don't think that's like happened. At least I haven't had that experience.
You've never had a guy at a bar offer to buy you a drink and flirt with you and pursue you sexually?
I mean, not like it doesn't really.
One night stands never happen from bars and clubs and parties. Come on.
No, they do, but I don't think.
Okay, so in order for a one night stand to happen, someone has to approach someone and pursue them sexually. It's probably the man doing it, right?
I think what you would
Eric,
see instead of them buying you a drink is like, if you're dancing with your friends, like guys will try to get behind you and like have you dance on them, and like if you like friends give each other signals like, oh yeah, like he's cute, or like if he's not, then you'll like move away, but if he's cute, you'll stay there, and then at some point in time you'll turn around, start talking, and then just see what happens from there.
Okay. Erika, do you want to come in on this?
I think a lot of guys do approach like girls at parties, but especially in IV, I don't think it's to the point where they're like pushing it, unless it's like a bad person, obviously.
No, and by the way, I want to say like it's not like an aggressive thing, but like when I say sexually pursue, I just mean they're like pursuing the interaction.
Yeah.
Like giving a little tension so that way.
If a guy approaches you, like at a bar, club, or a party, like more often than not, I mean, I'm sure you guys aren't naive. Like there's clearly either a sexual or romantic interest there. It's not just to make conversation. Like have you guys ever, how do I want to put this? Would you agree that one night stands happen from bars, clubs, or otherwise party type environments?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, anyways, we can move.
Let's move.
We're going to move on.
This one.
We're going to react and sort of on the topic of men being like not having a lot of attention like that. Eric, we're going to pull up a video and it's going to be the first one, I believe. All right.
Most men are basically invisible. There is not a female on the planet who's invisible today. You can be a 4, overweight, fat, you'll still go to the club and get attention. 99% of the men go to the club and nobody even fucking talks to them. If they try and talk to a girl, they get blanked and ignored and told to Most men are absolutely and utterly invisible. This is the truth about masculinity, right? It's very easy for women to sit here and complain about the top 2% of men because I dealt with this guy, he's arrogant, blah, 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 blah. Most men don't even fucking exist. They send 10,000 DMs and never even get read, let alone replied to.
Okay, were you guys, what's up? You're saying something, or did you need to use the bathroom?
I have to leave.
Oh,
Yeah, we're leaving. We're dipping.
You gotta leave?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But thank you.
Well, thank you guys for coming.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Really quick, actually, before you leave, do you guys want to do a quick reaction to that video?
I feel like my reaction's the same as how I reacted to, like, I mean, I honestly, like, I don't know. I just think that the real world and these like hypothetical situations are just not one and the same, and you can compare them, but I just like, I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. It's just not real enough. So
What's not real?
Like your depictions of these situations are not, in my mind, like even semi-relatable, you know? Like I just don't agree.
As far as so you think men and women initiate at the exact same rate?
No, I don't. But I think that for every man and for every woman, life is just like so many factors and variables, and you just like cannot paint with broad strokes when it comes to relationships.
I mean, you can you can speak in generalities.
Yeah.
And I would say, broadly speaking, probably 90 of all the first dates that have ever been had in the past 20 years, probably 95% of those were initiated by men.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's like, but also if you look at like the span of history, men were initiating dates because like women used to have no rights and like weren't even allowed to do anything. So it's like, what were they going to do? Initiate a date? Like there's nothing. So, but thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Okay. They are gone. It's past their bedtime, guys. They're professional, you know. Go that way, guys. Go that way. Are you? Wait, what? I gotta go. Oh, you're not staying? You're leaving too? You can't stay for the video? All right. You move on over there. We'll
divide the sides.
All right. It's now a 2 versus 2. They heard Tate and they rage quit. So take the seat that hasn't been. All right, guys. I guess triggered by Andrew Tate. It's now 2v2. Okay, well, thank you guys for staying with us. We're gonna wrap up here pretty soon, anyways. So your reaction to the video?
I forgot.
Oh, I don't like Andrew Tate, so.
You don't like Andrew Tate?
Well, I mean, I don't like have a strong hatred towards him. Like, he's kind of funny, but I don't agree with most of the things he says about women.
Sure. Okay. Man, I mean, it was kind of like, it's kind of annoying because like she said this whole piece at the end there, and I was like, and then she's like, okay, bye. Like I didn't even have time to rebut it, but whatever. Not you, the lawyer chicks that left. So do you want to give your reaction to the Andrew Tate video?
I mean, I think it's such a weird one because there's a lot of stuff that Tate says that's so one-sided. I think some of the stuff he says, there is definitely like, you know, facts in it, but that's also me talking as a guy. However, I do think there's a lot of shit that he says that's just like, dude, you're going like way too far with this one. I don't know.
Okay, good times. So yeah, I mean, the whole thing is that like, I don't know where she was going with it, because I mean, the lawyer chick, when I asked like, what of the percentage of men that you think in the past 20 years that have initiated like the first date, and I said, I thought, hey, it's probably 95% of men. She's like, yeah, I probably agree with that. So it's like, I don't really know what she disagreed with me on, but like, you need not look further than a dating app to see that like, bro, if you're an average guy on a dating app, it is fucking brutal. If you're an average guy on a dating app, you're on Tinder, you are playing fucking Russian roulette with your self-esteem. And by the way, every single fucking, what's it called? Every single chamber, the gun, there's the full round. Jesus, I'm fucking butchering this. Basically, the revolver, I don't know fucking gun shit. There's a bullet in every fucking hole. What's the term? Is it chamber?
It's fully loaded. The chamber's loaded.
It's
just use chamber. Use chamber.
Yeah, it's fully loaded, right? If you're an average guy on a dating app, it is a foregone conclusion if you're on a dating app that it's just fucking brutal. Your self-esteem is going to be destroyed. So anyways, yeah, so I don't know like how you can conceivably think that there's some sort of advantage, or that it's somehow comparable between men and women when it comes to dating. I mean, most men are invisible to most women. So we're going to pull up one more tape video on this. Thank you. Yeah, the cylinder, guys. I don't know if it's the chamber or the cylinder.
I don't think most women can actually genuinely understand how lonely the majority of men are. Yeah. And you need to truly understand, if you're Joe Schmo, average in nearly every way, in Starbucks working, you ain't getting a DM ever. You girls will never be lonely. As much as you might be unhappy with the possible suitors, you can at least fuck about and flirt if you feel sad. There are men out here in the world who have genuine loneliness. And I can prove this statistically. Why do you think it's all the men killing themselves compared to the women?
Okay, kind of similar to the last thing. By the way, shout out to Fresh and Fit. That's a clip from their podcast, Fresh and Fit on YouTube. So do you want to give your reaction to that? It's pretty similar to the last one, but your reaction.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of girls out there that are super lonely as well. And I feel like he's only saying that because there's a lot more like attractive girls. But at the end of the day, if there was a person at Starbucks working and he's a good person genuinely, I wouldn't mind talking to him.
I mean, I wouldn't get too caught up on the Starbucks part, but so you mentioned that there's a lot of lonely women out there, but what he was kind of saying is that even an average woman, if on any given night, if she wanted to, she could get some male attention. She could hook up with a guy, she could sleep with a guy, even just maybe she doesn't want to sleep with him, just go on a date. But for most men, even like I would say above average guys, does get a bit difficult, like to on a snap get a girl to go on a date with you. There's a bit of work. Like there's no such thing as like a last minute date on a Tuesday for a dude. But as a chick, bro, that shit's easy. If you're down, the guy will be down. But so when you say you think there's a lot of lonely women out there, maybe they're lonely just because they have very high standards.
Yeah.
And that's what he was saying, is that, you can always get some guy. He might not be the most desirable suitor, but you can always get a guy. I want to open it up to you. Go ahead.
Honestly, I kind of agree. Like, I could text any guy right now, and he'll probably want to go on a date with me.
Yo, thank you. Thank you. Yes. Good answer.
Good answer.
Yeah, I mean,
Ew, I didn't like that.
you could be, you know what?
I didn't like that.
Good answer.
Good answer.
That's wait, is that Van Wilder?
I don't know
No,
who that is.
that's Ryan Reynolds from, I don't know. So anyways, where was I? No, like either one of you, if you downloaded Tinder right now or a dating app right now, it's 9:20 on a Thursday? 9:20 on a Thursday. Within an hour, you could have a guy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to speak for Luke because Luke's honestly a fucking Chad.
Yeah.
But for me, bro, I download Tinder. Bro, maybe I can set up a date for next week, and then there's a 50% she's gonna flake, and then it's gonna take me a bit of time to get there. So you're based. Good. That was a good answer. Do you want to come back in on this, Erika? I see you.
Go ahead. You can go ahead first.
I was just gonna say, I think people should start. It's a lot of times that people should like work on themselves before they want to go out. I find that for me because, thank you guys for saying all this great stuff about me. It's really flattering. But when I was like a kid or even younger, I wasn't the best looking dude. I had a fuck ton of acne. I was fat, and I didn't get any attention, and so I just had to start, the grind or whatever. Had to get on gnarly acne medication that, Accutane, if anyone's ever been on that, it's not fun. And then gym every day for like nonstop. I started when I was 15 and would eat like nothing but oatmeal and fish and chicken for every meal. It was gnarly. I had to lose a lot of weight, and I've gotten to the point now where I'm comfortable in my body. But even then, and this is what I was saying when you started the whole, what would you rate yourself as? Like, I don't think I'm a 10 because I think there is stuff that I can improve. I think,
bro, if you're like a solid 9, I think, anyways.
Well, even then, I still think
I'm straight, by the way. Just saying.
Me too, by the way. I've been seeing some of the comments. I'm straight. Yeah, I mean, I find that improving yourself should come before you give yourself up to anyone else. Like, it's a self-esteem booster, and for, again, women can go out and get them any day of the week, but I think they should start with improving themselves before getting any of that, because you get your own self-esteem from working hard instead of just like another human being.
Good point. No, that's really good. Dude, like I said at the very, like, a couple times throughout the show, man, you're wise beyond your years, dude. And, yeah, so I'm trying to think. I had a couple more questions, but there's quite a bit of, let's do some super chats. We got some super chats here. Let's see. Okay. We got this one, the Luke, take Erika out. Okay. Or wait, did we get, yeah, we got that one. Okay. Abe with the $10 super chat. I believe the idea of women who are in a relationship going to clubs is to get high off rejecting other men. I mean, Abe, certainly I do think that, I mean, you'll see this on dating apps too, but women will for sure get tons of attention and validation. So from going out to clubs and bars, guys are going to be hitting on them. They're fucking curving the dudes. No. So yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm sure it's fucking awesome to be a chick. And I mean, I'm sure there's some drawbacks too. Awesome to be a chick, go to the club, get all this male attention, because oftentimes you hear women complaining about, oh, you know, all these guys approaching me, woe is me. It really sucks. And then when they're 40, where are all the men? Anyways. So, but you also see on dating apps, girls will be on dating apps and just, they like the validation. They'll like just guys matching with them, guys messaging them, and have zero fucking intention of ever meeting a guy off a dating app. I know plenty of chicks. They're just on there to fucking promote their bullshit fitness Instagram. They're on there to promote, you know, their IG, their OnlyFans, whatever it may be. Or maybe their Instagram or whatever, they're not promoting anything, but they're just on there for validation. So you gotta be careful on dating apps. A lot of these girls are not genuinely on there to meet up with dudes. I know girls who've been on dating apps for years and have never met a dude off it. So go ahead, Erika. I know you're dying to get in on this one.
Well, when I was on the dating app, I had no intention of like talking or meeting with anybody. I just came on there to see what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
have you ever met a guy from a dating app?
No.
But you've been on dating apps and you're currently on the dating app, correct?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Currently.
Got it. Okay. Well, there you go. Go ahead. Your turn.
I've never been on a dating app, so.
Okay.
But with my Instagram, I would say I do put in like a lot of thought into what I post just to see whose attention I will get, or like try to aim it towards somebody and see if they will see it, what they think about it.
Yeah.
And if I don't get anything out of it, then like I'll just change myself up for the next one.
For sure. We'll let Luke come in really quick. By the way, guys, we're going to wrap up here in probably 5-10 minutes. So if you want, get your last minute super chats in. Luke, did you want to come in on this super chat or?
Yeah. I see, that's such a hard one because I think there should be freedom in a relationship. You are your own person. I don't think you should live for anyone else, if that makes sense. But at the same time, you have a commitment with someone. So if I put in enough trust to let you go out with your girlfriends and you betray me, and this is going to get a little personal. I actually had this experience once. One of my past relationships went out to Ivy with some friends, and one thing led to another, and I got the "I'm so sorry" text. Not happy about that one. And so
wait, what happened?
I was literally getting ready for lifeguard training, and so I couldn't go out that night. She went out with some friends to Ivy to a party, and at like 12:30 at night, I get the "I'm so sorry, we need to talk" text, and I was just like, fuck.
Rip.
So, you know.
So she cheated on you?
Yeah.
Did she was it kind of like she made out with the guy, or she slept with the dude?
She didn't sleep with anyone, and it's still.
It's still, still cheating.
She said, yeah, it's still cheating. And I think like hitting someone up with the intention of them talking to you, that's cheating too. So if people are talking to you on social media, there shouldn't be even like a second where it's like, oh, well, he's a nice guy, and vice versa. Like there have been people that are like, you know, we've been saying that girls are getting hit up all the time. I've gotten hit up before on like Snapchat and stuff. So I'm, I guess I'm an exception to that one. But
well, bro, you're Chad, bro. You're fucking Chad.
But with my past relationships, they've been like, hey, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm like, you have every right to be, and I'll just block them on the spot or I'll unadd them. I think that's the respectful thing to do. you know, again, I'm giving you my trust that you're not going to get with anyone, and I expect the same thing. If I'm in a relationship, a committed one, there's not even a chance that I would cheat on someone, especially because I went through something like that. I would never want to put someone in a similar relationship to where they feel so vulnerable and so betrayed. But again, people need to be their own person. I think relationships can get burned out if you rely on each other too much.
Yeah.
Even if you love each other and you want to see each other every single day, it's good. You know, distant makes the heart grow fonder.
Word.
People should be able to live their life without worrying about cheating.
My DMs are open, Ruby. Okay, so let's see. Who do we got here? We got 2 more super chats, I believe. We got maybe 3 actually. Jamos. I have massive respect for the girls who've stayed now. Also, you should start doing sound bites made with these girls' words. Lawyer girls first. Insecure? Big ego? I don't know. Thank you for the $5, man. Appreciate it. Glebus, hey man, good to see you. Thank you for the big $20 super chat, man. Hey Brian, sorry dude, but you need to bring on more interesting girls guests on topic. Can confirm getting no love in dating apps, no good for self-esteem. Yeah, dude, honestly, Glebus, like, here's the thing. And even like, I struggle on dating apps too. Like, unless you're fucking top 10, top 20% dude on dating apps, like I said, you are playing Russian roulette with your self-esteem if you're an average dude on a dating app. And by the way, every fucking cylinder, chamber, whatever is fucking loaded. So if you're an average dude on a dating app, it's not a maybe that your self-esteem is going to get fucking crushed. It is a definite. So I do not like, also it's just like, it's going to be a fucking waste of time. And they've done, if you guys go to, I don't know if any of you on Reddit, go to reddit.com/r/Tinder data. It's dudes posting, because Tinder allows you to download your dating data or whatever it's called. So, and there's a thing called, I forgot the name of it, but basically you can put the Tinder data and it'll create this flow chart. I'll try to find it. And dude, it's fucking brutal. Like, these guys, 10,000 right swipes, they get 10 matches, one of them leads to a date, one date. It's really bad, guys. So it's tough. You know what though, as far as the panel tonight, some of you were talking shit about the lawyers, but I was actually like, I enjoyed the debate. It makes it interesting. If all the girls just agree with everything I say, or they're too shy to share their stance, like I think that kind of they definitely pushed. Like, those 2 lawyer girls, I think of all the guests we've ever had, they pushed really hard. I don't know if they've pushed the hardest, but I like that they pushed back. I mean, they are attorneys, so I wish they had stayed a little longer so we could have wrapped up the conversation, but they had to go. You know, they got real adult jobs. So yeah, man. Glebus with the $10 super chat. 2 ladies who stayed. You are the best. Hey, what's up? He's got love for you guys. So that's the OG in chat, Glebus. He's a good guy. He's a legend. Yo, Chase, what's up, my dude? Chase with the big $10 super chat. Luke, you've had some very solid takes tonight. Respect, bro. By the way, if you're interested in her, you should 100% grab Erika's number after the show. You're in, dog. Also, shout out to Brian. Has chat, Erika, have you been reading chat?
I have.
Have they been shipping you and
They have.
and Luke?
The whole entire time.
Okay, I don't know if...
Okay.
All right. Good times. Well, there you go, guys. Love, this is the, it's not just a dating talk show. It's also a
matchmaking talk show.
Cupid show.
Love connection matchmaking show. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Chase actually, he met a love interest on the show, believe it or not.
Wow.
It was
Good
this feisty blue-haired feminist chick with 39 body count. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Chase. I'm kidding. Or wait, no, it was also, okay, I'm not going to say that one. Never mind. Chase is a legend, though. Thank you for the $10 super chat, man. Last super chat here. Sorry, guys, I'll say it. We men have been winning since the beginning of humanity until probably 15 to 20 years ago. That's when women took over. You know what, dude? I kind of disagree, man. I kind of disagree, dude. I mean, this is such a nuanced conversation, but I mean, and in what context are we talking about here? Are we talking dating? Are we talking rights? I mean,
It's 50-50 with that one.
men, when it comes to dating, bro, men have always been in pretty bad positions when it comes to dating. It's much more pronounced now that there's social media and dating apps. What that has done is it has globalized the sexual marketplace. So now, back in the day here, we're in Santa Barbara. If you were a girl in Santa Barbara 10, 20 years ago, your dating pool was the dudes in Santa Barbara. If you're in Idaho, in some bumfuck town, but you're a babe, you're gonna date the dudes in your area. But now you can be in the middle of nowhere, be a fucking boss or a baddie, whatever. And you can get some dude in Miami is going to fly you out. A dude in LA is going to fly you out. So it's definitely changed very recently due to dating apps and social media. And just on that topic really quick, have either of you ever been flown out or offered a guy slide in your DMs, hey, do you want to come to Miami, come to LA?
Nothing of that sort. I've had guys come down from an hour or two away to come hang out with me and my friends, but nothing special.
Bruv. Rip.
The Louisiana guy wants to fly me out.
There you go.
Boom.
Take it.
Boom.
I mean, I've never been there, so it would be...
Louisiana's awesome, especially...
Really?
What part is he from? Do you know?
Well, he's from here, but he goes to
Okay.
school out there at LSU.
Go to New Orleans with him. It'll be fun as
Really?
fuck. It'll be fun as fuck. Yeah. New Orleans is awesome.
I'll think about it.
Wait, have either of you ever had a sugar daddy?
No.
Okay.
No, but I get a lot of DMs from sugar mamas instead.
Sugar mamas? Are you bi?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Good times. All right, we got Glevis, LA. Sorry I missed the show today. Only saw 3 girls leaving. We'll watch the recording later. Keep up the great work. Amen. Thank you for the big dollar. Sorry for the big $10 super chat, man. Much appreciated. Good to see you continuing to support the show. Oh, gosh. Okay, here we go. Bro, you guys are okay, here we go. Retard lawyers. Jesus. With the 10 Canadian dollars, we left because we had to feed our 20 cats. We don't even like men except Chase, but he won't even acknowledge our existence. Oh, gosh. By the way, y'all are fucking hilarious when you make these. Is this Nerd Lonnie? This might be Nerd Lonnie, but yeah, last show, someone was Nerd Lonnie, took a screenshot of the girl that was on the show and started chatting as it was kind of funny. So if you guys want to do that, leave super chats as characters from the show, that's kind of funny. Maybe someone can leave a super chat as Luke. I don't know, just take a screen grab of Luke and just boom.
I'm actually encouraging it. Please do it.
Can we get one? Can we get just one?
I'll even give you a thumb or whatever, a profile picture right now.
He'll get Erica's number if you guys do that.
Wait, guys, get ready. Hold on, let me get rid of this. Boom. One, guys, one. Is that your blue? What is the thing from what's that stupid movie? What's the movie with the models and Ben Stiller?
Oh,
Zoolander. We were just talking about that.
Zoolander.
Yeah. Is that the Blue Steel? I think it was. That was a good one. Yeah. So, anyways, if you want, get that super chat in. If it's fine, if not. But yeah, thank you to everyone who super chatted. Big shout out to Glebus for the major continued support show after show. Really appreciate it. Also appreciate all you chatters. XXD entertain me. I see you guys in the chat every week. Much appreciated. I'm going to open it up to final thoughts. If you guys have a question that you want to ask or just a final thought right before we end the show, if you guys have anything. Erika.
If you're coming to date, don't go to Ivy. You won't find a relationship over here.
Do you live in Ivy?
I live right by Costco.
Okay. Are you from Santa Barbara?
I am.
Okay. Got it. Wait, and you're not in work right now, right? You're not working. You're not in school right now, is what I meant to say. Okay, are you planning to go to school or?
Yeah, I'm waiting to go to a cosmetology school.
Okay, rock and roll. Final thought or question for the
No, I don't
small
have
panel we
anything.
have remaining?
No, I'm good for now.
Okay, Luke, any final thought or question?
Yeah, just I guess final note to leave it off. Again, like I said, like improve yourself first. Don't let your self-esteem come from someone else. It's not a good ending. If you really like, if you want to find happiness in someone else, you're not going to be able to do it unless you're happy with yourself first.
Facts.
Do what you like.
Sweet. Okay, guys. Eric, do we have any other super chats that came in? I don't want to miss anyone because I did just solicit.
I want to see the Luke
I know. Me too.
thing. Come
The
on,
Luke?
someone do it.
Don't be lame, guys.
We'll give it one more minute to get in. Well, I think I'm trying to wonder if I have any last minute videos that we can react to. I don't think so. But any chatters? Any? Hold on.
Wait, I have one question for you.
Yeah, sure. Go
What
for
are your
it.
thoughts on Andrew Tate?
What are my thoughts on Andrew Tate?
Yeah, like the things he says about like women.
Well, what? I mean, you're gonna have to give me like a specific thing that he said.
Because like he kind of seems to be against like women.
I don't. You know what? There's been a concerted effort by the media to portray him in a certain way that I don't think is based in reality. Has Andrew Tate said some very controversial things? Absolutely. But I mean, you'll have to give me a specific example of what he said. By the way, I don't agree with him on all his takes. I don't agree with him on everything. Overwhelmingly, though, I think if you really take the time to listen to what he has to say, instead of just believing the headline or watching a 15-second clip on TikTok, if you really listen to him and what he has to say, I think overwhelmingly he has a very positive message. Has he said some controversial shit? Yes. He's also a very traditional guy.
Yeah.
Like, he believes in traditional, believes the man should be the man, the woman should be the woman. He believes in that very traditional relationship dynamic. So, yeah, I think we got a super sticker here, but unfortunately not the Luke thing. Abe, thank you for the $10 super sticker, man. Much appreciated. So, I mean, do you have thoughts on Tate at all, Luke?
Yeah, like I said before, I agree with you. He definitely has like a lot of good points. I think he's again, what everyone is saying, all the people that support him, he's showing the masculine energy, the heavily masculine energy that I think a lot of people are lacking right now. And, you know, that could be a reason for a bunch of things, but I think a big thing is that I'm losing my train of thought right now. Sorry. I think Andrew Tate has a lot of good points. I also think he has a lot of points where he goes way overboard. I do think the media portrays him really poorly. I think if you like fully watch some of the clips, like there's a bunch of TikTok videos and YouTube videos of people going up to women with Andrew Tate quotes, and it's like, you know, I think a man should always protect a woman. I think he should always pay. And I align myself with some of those things. I think a guy should protect a woman 100% of the time. I think, you know, it's a lot of people find it controversial to say that men are stronger than women, but in a lot of, like, in most of the cases, that's how it is. And it's not like a opinion. It's based on like our actual muscle makeup, our genetics. And I think a lot of men can take the advantage to overpower women. It's fucked up. And we should be able to, like, especially if you're in a relationship with someone, they're your responsibility to keep safe.
Word. Okay, so we got another super chat. If you want to pull that up, Eric, thank you. Abe with the $20 super chat. Unfortunately, he didn't want to roleplay as Zoolander Luke. But Luke, don't waste that chance. I assume this is
Towards Erika?
towards the building. Okay, whatever. Okay. Abe, thank you for the $20 super chat, man. So wait, okay, we got No, I don't want to make it awkward. I'm not gonna make it awkward. Last one. We got our boy 5XDM body count and fit check at whatever. Me? I think he wants the panel. Okay, really quick. What's your body count?
I have to.
You have to. If you don't, you will not know how to proceed in life if you don't answer this question.
7.
0.
Huh? Wait, what? Okay, 7 and 0.
0.
Luke, do you want to answer this?
I want to ask what you guys think mine is, really quick.
You're 19,
I'm 19.
right?
I'm fresh out of high school.
3.
5.
Yeah, you're close. It's 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, so 0.
0.
And your longest relationship was a month. Okay.
Yeah, that's only because I'm really bad at commitment.
You're bad at commitment.
Yeah, like I can't stay with someone.
So just curious, you're not waiting till marriage though, right? If you are, that's fine.
I don't really know. Like I say I am, but like I don't know what's gonna happen in the future. Like what if I find the love of my life and we don't like get married like instantly? Obviously, like why would I do that?
But so you want to wait until you're in love?
Yeah, because I don't want to just lose it to like someone and then regret it later. Because there's multiple chances that I could have lost it, but looking back, like that would have been horrible with those people.
So you're not, because I know there's like some people that are virgins, both men and women, that like there's some girls, they're virgins, but they're like, I just want to lose it. Like but it sounds like you do genuinely, like you want to wait.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Rock and roll. And then 7.
I've had ex-boyfriends though, so.
7
Not just-
ex-boyfriends?
No. Like 3. And then
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. I've had 3 relationships, 3 exes, so.
Okay, good times. There's your answer.
What's yours?
What's my body
Yeah, we
count?
haven't heard yours
What's
yet.
yours? Is it that I'm wearing
Well,
a shirt?
Is it is it this? This will I will probably never explain this thing, but maybe one of these days. Podcast 77, I'll explain it. Dating talk number 77, I'll explain it. So yeah, I don't reveal my body count because I'm a man of God.
Girl.
And yeah, I'm very discreet. I don't kiss and tell, so I don't.
You set us up for that one.
Yeah.
Set up. You got set up. No, but yeah, I just because I think body count matters, so I'm not gonna share it. Anyways, okay. I want to thank both of you so much for staying when the other 3 women left. Luke, you were a fucking legend.
Thank you,
Love
bro.
to have you back. Love to have you guys back too. Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. And hold on, let me just get my little. We are going to be doing a. Normally we're just Tuesday and Thursday with the dating talk show, but I believe we're going to be doing a Sunday night show. So we're going to be doing a special one on Sunday. It'll be more. I think we're going to aim for like 4v4, 4 guys, 4 girls. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. You could be doing anything else, but you're here with me. I appreciate that. Like I said, we most likely will be live again Sunday at 7 p.m. If not, we'll be back again with the Dating Talk Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific. Thanks again to the panel for joining us. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. And we will see you next time.